anthem for us. Hats off, please.
Let's see one properly. So there's one behind us.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Sunrise and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's past our spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great job, ladies. Thank you so much. We're going to start by introducing our teams. If I can hold on to the paper here. Okay, we're going to start over here with the Indy Edge. First we have Jason Dobbs, player. Steve Michaels, coach and player. Eric Rodriguez, player. Corey White, player. Jacory Wiley, player. Justin Holland, player. Mark Morris, player. Corian White, player. Frank Porter, player. Alvin Suarez, player. Nick Mulherin, player. LaRon Carter, player. Sherlock Washington, player. Aaron C., player. Cal Kennedy, pitcher. Paige Del Casa, spotter. John Boggs, assistant coach, catcher and spotter. Mike Beatty, spotter and catcher. Leah Michaels, spotter and catcher. Lisa Rodriguez, spotter. Jessica Hunt, spotter. Braden Rodriguez, catcher and spotter. Lisa Larkin, spotter and catcher. Todd Holland, catcher and spotter. Tim Washington, volunteer. Nicholas Del Casa, volunteer.
In the Indy
Michael Del
Edge,
Casa,
I'm Matt
volunteer.
Wallace, and
Melinda
welcome
Best,
in to
volunteer.
what we hope is a
And Mike
wonderful
Lloyd.
championship game. These are the two best
Player.
teams as ranked by the NBBA before this 2022
here's
World
your
Series began,
Indy Edge.
and they are the last two teams standing.
This is Rosanna Foster. We're going to have our
And now
head
here's the
ump
lineup
will
for the
be
San Antonio
Jason
Jets.
Price.
We
Our
have
race operator will be Jamie Simpson.
And our scorekeepers will be Karen Blykowski, Linda Skaggs, and Sylvia Redmond.
Holmes, player.
Now is an announcement of our teams here.
Zach
We just
Arambula,
went through
player.
all impaired. They will be wearing their
David
black
Smith, player.
jerseys with a white sound jagged edge on the front of their jerseys. As they are announcing the Jets that are wearing their pristinely clean white jerseys right now. On the front, it has the outline of the city of San Antonio. Then it has the teal, pink, and orange stripe with the word Jets over the top.
Perez,
right
player.
now introducing the Jets. Just introduced the Indy Edge before. The Jets coming off that 12 to 7 win over the Austin Blackhawks in the third place game yesterday. This is the second straight year that I've called this game that the Jets have been in the championship game. I believe they've been in it a few years in a row now. And for the Indy Edge, finished 4th place in the World Series last year. Have some new faces this year, but pitcher Kyle Kennedy looking to capture his first championship ring today.
So yeah, the field should be very fast and clean. It has not been used all week, save for this championship game, so we don't have a bunch of mud pits. We're getting some good cloud cover here and a nice breeze, so hopefully it's not going to be as blistering hot as it's been all week for the rest of our games, and also hopefully we will maintain a rain-free game so we can get through and have a good game.
Definitely a lightning-free game for sure would be nice. We don't want to hear that siren there.
Definitely don't want to hear that.
And Richie Flores is going to be our announcer for the game today. So
No, Richie will be announcing the PA guy today, so that'll be good. Former Jet. Sat in on the game with us last night.
So let's get ready to play some ball.
So both our teams heading back over to their bench to reconfigure before we get ready for that coin toss.
Critical coin toss.
Do you have any early predictions for this game, Matt?
Well, the Jets will be bringing their all in this game simply because they have to win 2 games today, so it's a journey for the Jets. For those of you just tuning in, the NBBA championship game, Jets versus Edge. The Jets have to win this game in order to advance for a rematch. This is a double elimination tournament. The Edge have not lost in this tournament yet. They've run through perfect. They beat the Boston Renegades. They've beaten the Austin Blackhawks. They've beaten all their tough competition. The San Antonio Jets actually lost in the second day, I want to say. Yes, the second day of the tournament play to the Austin Blackhawks. So they've had to work their way up from there. They beat Austin last night to get revenge, but they still need to win twice in order to beat the Edge. So you'll see the Jets maybe come out with a little more sense of desperation to start the game. But I really think the Indy Edge have all the tools to win the game. They got Eric Rodriguez up front. They got Nick Mulhern. That's just, I don't see how anything is going to get past that first line of defense up there. So I think ultimately the Indy Edge in a close one. I think we see a high-scoring game. I'm going to say something along the lines of 14-12, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was even a little higher scoring than that.
Well, we do have everybody convening out with Jason Price up at home plate, preparing for the coin toss. All the captains going over some couple of reminders from the play cleanly, no language, good sportsmanship. Let's get out there and play a clean game.
And both of these teams have done that. That's how you get to championship games. You don't get there by having a team that gets in their own head, that starts talking trash, that starts berating umpires. You have 2 teams that rise to the top by being a cohesive unit, by being a good team together, by supporting each other through, and by treating the competition well. That's how these 2 teams got to the top.
So we are here sitting directly behind home plate, so we should have a pretty good view of everything, Matt. We've got trees on the left along the far line and on the right, but clear here behind us and clear out in front. And again, that grass all week has been running very fast for these ground balls. It's going to be interesting to see if that continues on this unplayed field or if it hasn't been mashed down as much.
It might be one of those situations where it takes a little bit of time, but I expect the fields to get faster as the game progresses. You have a lot of powerful hitters on both sides. You think of David Smith, Axel Cox on one side. You think of Eric Rodriguez, Mark Morris, Nick Mulhern, Corey on White, all the guys that the Indy Edge have to throw at you. So you'll have a lot of powerful hitters. We saw Corey White, Rosina, in this championship round last year with Blake Boudreau on the call with us. We saw him hit a walk-off home run, the only home run we saw last year. So we'll see plenty of power drives in this game. So I think the fields will figure out how to play pretty fast, pretty quick.
So the coin toss has been called. San
Jets are home?
Antonio
Okay.
Jets are going to be the home with that home team last bat advantage.
But you know, Rosina, in this tournament, I sometimes seen that road team sometimes sets the tone with a big start, and then you'll see that home team, you know, maybe getting their heads about, yeah, we got to catch this number, we got to match this number. So the Indy Edge, honestly, not the worst thing for them to start away, to start batting first, to set the tone with a crooked number. Now, if the Jets can do a good job defensively on the Indy Edge, then that bodes well for them offensively down the line in this game.
Yeah, so our lead-off batter for the Edge is going to be Eric Rodriguez.
Plenty of speed. Eric Rodriguez, considered one of the, obviously, the best defensive player in the game, ranked number 1 overall in Beat Baseball players before the tournament started.
So we have a huddle over on our left on the third base side with the Edge as they're all working into a huddle. On the right, on first base side, you have all the Jets taking a knee far off away from their bench. And home plate, they're all kneeling down in towards the center. Just prepping up, giving last minute words of advice and encouragement to their teammates, boosting, getting that adrenaline pumping. Let's go and let's do this.
Well, the Jets were in this championship round last year, and they had to beat the Indy Thunder twice in order to win a championship. And they lost the first game on a walk-off home run. They led the game by 1 run in the last at-bat, and the Indy Thunder walked them off. So you know they're looking for some redemption this year. Their new pitcher, Jeremy Lopez, has just been on it, has just been finding bats, especially after the Austin loss. They really jetted up a new level, so to speak. They really sort of rocketed up there and have just pulverized Boston, Philadelphia, and Austin yesterday. 3 really good teams.
So a little bit ago, we had a huge chant over on the Edge team, and they've broken that up, and Eric is already up at home plate doing a couple practice swings in his white, teal, pink, and lime green cleats. He's also got a red bandana tied around his head there. Kyle's making his way out onto the field to speak with him and to kind of feel out home plate there a little bit as they wait for the Jets to finish their huddle and take the field.
And I would be more than happy to be corrected on this, but I think Kyle Kennedy would be the youngest pitcher ever to capture a World Series ring. Again, I would love to get some knowledge on that, so if anyone wants to comment but Kyle Kennedy, I think, is definitely one of the youngest. In the early 20s, got into this team to the championship game, got them to a 4th place finish last year, but they've really bolstered their roster.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Rodriguez now with the team, the White brothers. I'm sorry, Rosina.
I would say the Jets are now up off knees doing a quick huddle. Looks like they're preparing to finish and head to the field. Definitely everybody's feeling all the excitement here for this game. This is definitely should be a really good game to go.
Absolutely, and it's been just a phenomenal World Series week. We've called, this is the 8th game/competition we've called in the last 6 days. The 2 of us, not counting the games that we've done for our live streams with the Atlanta Chaos and Philadelphia Fire. So we've called plenty of thrilling action, but this game should be the best.
It should certainly be a good one to go. We have several of us all heading out into the field to their respective outfield positions and bases. Jeremy Lopez coming up.
There's some cups there on the left.
Also to check out the bases as he's walking across the field.
Jeremy Lopez, trying to fill in for Kevin Simpson. Huge shoes to fill. One of the best pitchers this game's ever seen.
The pitching I saw from him for a rookie pitcher yesterday was incredible. He also has never seen a pitcher not stand dead center on for his batters, and definitely stands about 5 feet off the center from the pitching pit. So definitely a very different style, kind of curves that ball up around and kind of sidearms it out there.
And he definitely hasn't had bad coaching. Apparently Lupe Perez of the San Antonio Jets got him into this sport, kind of taught him the ropes, and he's probably learned some things from Kevin Simpson. Richie was filling us in on some of those details last night, so he's definitely learned from some good guys and some good mentors there.
And Eric Rodriguez putting on his batting gloves as he stands back from home plate. We have the startup ball setting on home plate as umps do final check.
And we welcome those of you in. We're about to get started. Top of the first, championship round at the Chris Quinn Soccer Complex here in Beaumont, Texas. We thank all of the Beaumont volunteers for everything they've done for us throughout the course of the week, and this is our last opportunity to do so. Thank you for the golf carts, the water, the help, the support, just feeling so welcomed. And
very much the hospitality here in the
yeah.
entire city of Beaumont, Texas. Not just here at the complex, but so far everywhere that I have been personally
Absolutely.
in Beaumont has been very, very welcoming and friendly.
Thank you for introducing me to Boudin sausages. Boudin, and I pronounce it wrong the first time I try on the air, but they were phenomenal. So, again, thank you for all those tuning in to this live stream, whether it be on Facebook or the NBBA website. Jets Edge, let's go. Top of the first, Eric Rodriguez about to dig in.
So we have the Jets now all starting to take up their positions out in the outfield as they head out. Again, they have those white jerseys on, and they will be the home team. Edge in their black jerseys up at bat.
Again, the Jets defensively trying their best to get off to a good start. This has to be a 1 out of 2 game scenario for them. They need to win now, and then they need to win again. The Edge, simple, win, and you're champs.
Win and they're done. Last minute finishing up. There are a lot of come on Jets over from the bench on the first base side. Pin is pulled from the ball. Back into the hands of Kyle Kennedy, pitcher for the Edge.
All right.
Eric with a couple of hard practice swings there.
World Series.
And here's
Back off the plate.
Richie Flores on the mic now.
The Edge is Eric Rodriguez.
Is announcing for the public here sitting and watching.
I think he should be a professional PA announcer with that first call.
Getting a base check. Eric nodding and a thumbs up. And it's going to be a strike on that first one as he slides right under the ball.
A couple of young guys here, Kyle Kennedy and Eric Rodriguez, both in their early 20s, but a lot of experience in big games.
And another strike as he slides under the ball by about 2 inches.
And if
lining up at home plate.
If any newbies are listening, you do have that one take. He hasn't used it yet.
And it's going to be a slow little grounder, just barely becoming fair. Short out there and left, scrambling to get there. And he is out. That is out by Zach.
Zach Arambula. We didn't see him actually make too much of a defensive impact in that Austin game. But Eric Rodriguez almost beat that to the base. Not the hardest hit on the ground, that little ground ball. And the field didn't play too fast on that one, Rosina Foster, but good play for the first out of the game by Arambula.
Next up to bat,
Nick Mulhern for the Edge. He's got a bright blue head cap on underneath his eye shades.
Nick Mulhern has been one of the consistent players for the Indy Edge. Saw him in the 2021 World Series for them last season.
Waiting patiently at the plate, bat down at his shoes. Getting a few adjustments here out in the outfield.
Set in the field. Bases, please.
Getting at base check.
Wait.
Bring it back up in front as he rotates it around the world with his left hand, pulling it up in front. And back up over the shoulder.
Set. Pitch.
And it's going to be another just light little tip going a few feet and foul.
Yeah, that one sounded like it might have almost hit the pitcher. First strike.
Right on the first base line there. Walks his way back up.
Kyle Kennedy maybe trying to get some of those early game jitters out there. Championship game, 1 out, top of the first. No score.
Back up at home plate.
Doing that in at bat coaching, so to speak. 1 strike still.
I believe the This is Todd Holland catching for the edge.
Ready to go.
Strike. Quick. Set.
And a high out into right field. And it is going to be fair. Almost out to the tree line. That is going to be an easy run there.
Run
for
scores for
Nick.
the Indy Edge,
That was
1-0.
way out into the tree line.
Yeah, once it gets to that tree line, that's kind of a guaranteed run there. You don't want to have any kind of safety hazards. We saw Chris Kimball of the Boston Renegades get hurt exactly that way, just slamming. I believe he dislocated his shoulder into a tree. So you don't want to take any chances there, but Nick Mulhern's going to beat that out anyway, easily. Just a power hit. So Kyle Kennedy finds his first significant crack on the barrel hit of the day. 1-0 in favor of the edge.
This is going to bring Corian White up to bat.
Next up to bat for
As
the Indy
Nick
Edge,
walks
Corian
back to
White.
his bench, stretching that bat with both hands up behind his head, bringing it around in front.
Another 5-time champ from the Indy Thunder.
He's got on some pink cleats and a sweat towel tucked into the back of his shorts. Adjusting up at home plate, lining the bat up with the front edge. Pulling the bat back up.
Play. On me. Bases, please. Thank you.
And another base check.
Play.
Twisting that bat back up over the shoulder.
Set.
And it's going to be just on the edge, and it's going to bounce back foul on the right side.
Had that foul sound right off the bat. Strike one. Corian White with 1 out.
And back up at the plate, readjusting and setting up. And rotating that bat back up and around.
Get out the way, Bubba.
Kyle ready. And that was a little on the outside and low, Matt.
2 strikes, getting excited about that second strike.
And taking that pass.
Oh, taking a pass. Little surprise there in the middle of the at-bat, giving himself a two swing wiggle room.
And it's going to be a hard little line drive going to the ground, bouncing off Zach's hands out in left field, back to the third line, just out of their hands, and that is going to be safe.
2-0.
Just bouncing out of Zach's hand, going past Axel as he ran over there, and just not
Next up
quite.
to bat,
Will could not get it in his
Corey
hands,
White.
and that will be a run.
Well, the field is playing a little bit faster now, especially when you hit it as hard as Corian White did. Zach Arambula, premier defender, just couldn't make the play on that one. Once it gets past him, enough speed by Corian White to easily beat that out without any real chance of it being fielded. So the Edge double their lead with still 1 out, 2-0. I guess that take really paid off. He scored that run right after taking that pass.
Corey White up at bat as Kyle wipes off all the moisture and sweat from the ball. Waiting for the okay from the outfield.
Okay.
Alright, we're setting the field. Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you. Play.
Rotating that bat around home plate. And a deep exhale. And ready.
Set.
Hard clobber out into left field, bouncing just past the first base, bouncing just past it, and that is going to be an out by, I believe that is Will Lopez out there.
What a play!
Lopez picking that up, backing
What a
up his players.
What a play by Will Lopez to get that second out. And I've just gotten this note. Kyle Kennedy finding another bat there. He's found all the at-bats so far. 2 runs, 2 putouts. Phenomenal play by
number 41.
Will Lopez there.
Will Lopez.
But Kyle Kennedy on it early on. He is not, however, the youngest pitcher to win a World Series. It was Jared Woodard with the Kansas All-Stars. He was only 16 years of age. 16 years of age when he won his first championship with the Kansas All-Stars. So my apologies for that. Kyle Kennedy, not the youngest, but definitely not the oldest, in his early
Bringing
20s.
Justin Holland up to bat as Kyle had a chalk bag in his hands to dry everything out. And that base check.
Jared Woodard this year finishing 6th with the Indy Thunder.
And that's That's going to be a strike going just under the bat.
But what a play by Will Lopez. Corey White did everything right, hit it hard, ran fast.
Set.
Hard clobbering. This might be a homer. This is high out into left. It's over. That is going to be a homer for Justin Holland. We are going to see a home run in the final championship game. It is 2 for Justin Holland.
So, for those of you just tuning in or not as familiar with the rules, a home run is if you hit it in the air past the 170-foot line. It has to hit at or past. Is it at? If it hits at 170 foot, or does it have to be past?
It has to land
At least,
minimum.
at least a minimum of 170 foot or past it. On the fly. If it does so, your team is awarded 2 runs. So Justin Holland has just gotten a home run for the Indy Edge. Give him 2 runs. So it's a 4-0 Indy Edge lead.
Next up to bat,
Bring Aaron C. up to bat for the Edge as he leans back to tell his teammate, good poke. Have a little conferring out here from our umps out in the field.
Second time in 2 years we've seen a home run in the championship game, like you said. This time in the very first inning. Not waiting for that walk-off home run. Justin Holland. Long ball.
Talking to Zach out in the field short.
You know, Rosina, he won the long ball. He's a 2-time defending long ball champion. So clearly, immediately on the first pitch, showing that skill.
Okay, our head up, Jason coming back up. Aaron C. still waiting patiently at home plate. Getting some instruction here from Kyle on feet placement. Moving him up just a hair toward the front of the plate.
That was a heck of a shot too, folks. If you weren't here, you got to hear it. It was a moon shot. It had plenty of hang time. He might have been at the base before it hit the ground almost. I mean, that was something special.
Thank you. Play.
Aaron looking down at home plate as he takes a pass, listening as it comes across the plate. Winding that bat back up.
So a couple of Kyle Kennedy's players taking that pass.
And high over the bat about an inch.
Designated hitting for Mark Morris. So Mark, one of the best fielders in the game.
Kyle wiping some sweat off his face. And ready for the pitch. Bringing that mitt down.
Set.
And it's going to be a bouncer over into left. I don't know if that's going to be fair. That is foul. Not quite. Aaron, about 3/4 of the way to third base, is going to have to work his way back.
It's a little ground ball. He probably didn't want that one anyway. That sounds like room service for either Arambula or Castaneda. So 2 strikes, 1 take.
That would have been over in the left, so that would have been Zach picking that up if it had been fair. Aaron making his way back up.
4-0, 2 outs. 2-1 the count.
Kind of a sigh there by Aaron as he comes up to the plate. A little chuckle now. It's still early in the game. Twisting the toes in.
2 strikes, 1 ball. Play.
Conversation here between the pitcher and the batter.
Set.
And that pitch is going to be high by about 3 inches up over the bat. A little too archy.
Count's full. Coming out either way. Here we go. 2 outs.
Bringing that mitt up on the catcher.
Set. Pitch.
And a clobbering is going to bounce over to Zach. Didn't stop it with his body. Oh, it's past David and it's past Will. That's going to be another run for the Edge. Just kind of bouncing out of the reach of bodies. They weren't able to slow it down, much less get a hold of it.
And a big poke there. That was a tough break for the Jets. Had 3 strikes. Had Zach Arambula potentially there. It sounded like from what you were calling Rosina in position to make the play. Just couldn't make it. Again, these aren't easy shots to field. These is a very hard drive by Aaron C on that one. But he scores, and we're back to the top of the order with Eric Rodriguez looking for some personal redemption. Made the first out of the game. Still first inning. 5-0 now, Edge.
Yeah, yeah, the ball just not coming so quickly. They kind of have to make a quick judgment on where to throw their bodies and just not quite the placement to slow it down, being just out of reach. Again, Eric Rodriguez.
Set.
High pop up, a good 120 feet up in the air, landing just fair, short over into right. Is Ricky gonna get? He is safe.
Run scores.
Oh, Ricky is standing off from it. There's a question of if it's a dead ball or not. I said fair ball, so that will stand as
Yeah,
a run.
that should. So it's 6-0 now. Still 2 outs, and Eric Rodriguez, the first at bat you saw, hit a little weak ground ball, unable to beat that out. It was on the ground the whole time. This time, very much not the case. A lot of hang time, no chance for Castaneda to make the play on that one. Still 6-0.
Good 100 to 120 feet up in the air, just plenty of time to get to that base.
I'm sorry, still 2 outs. Nick Mulhern 1 for 1.
Kyle doing a practice toss as there's a little bit of rotation out in the outfield. Have David Smith coming back over from the right side over to the left. Getting that base check. Nick grabbing the bat, rotating it around the world, and up over the shoulder.
Set.
And that's going to be a strike as it goes just under the bat.
Strike 1, rolling over to the scores table here. Still 2 outs, still just 1 out away from getting through this for San Antonio.
Set. Pitch.
And another strike. Excuse me, I believe that's Braden Rodriguez who is catching for the edge.
Set. Pitch. Are you ready?
Yeah, Kyle Kennedy's hitter's not afraid to take passes.
Definitely getting a listen on whether, they're getting that timing right.
2-1 the count.
Set. Pitch.
Oh, and another strike as it goes right over the top of that ball by about 2 inches.
Trying to see if he can do what Aaron C. did and get that run with the 3-1 count in the first inning. Jets maybe hoping for a freebie.
Kyle asking for quiet.
Set. Pitch.
And he's going to be far under that. That is going to be an out
We have 3 outs.
for Nick.
Going at the bottom of the
Sorry about
first.
that. The strikeout ends the inning, and we finally switch sides. So, Rosina, they had it at 2-0 with 2 outs before the Justin Holland home run, which was the big blow of the inning. Then you give up runs to Aaron C. and Eric Rodriguez, and things snowball a little bit. So, Jets could have gotten out of that, 2-0 after the great play by Will Lopez to record the second out of that first inning on Corey White. But the Edge, give them credit. They have a lot of depth in that lineup, and Justin Holland, again, for those of you tuning in a little bit late, home run in the top of the first inning to plate 2 for the Edge. So a big 6-run first, but, not insurmountable, not anything the Jets can't answer. You see the likes of David Smith, Axel Cox, Ricky Castaneda. So
Have the Edge lining up for a blindfold check before they take the field. You have the Jets bringing up in home, filling up their batter's box, getting those practice swings in.
Bottom half of inning number 1. Jets with their first turn. Down by 6. Jeremy
Up there from
Lopez.
Jeremy Lopez to Kyle Kennedy on the sidelines.
Again, just the great camaraderie of beat baseball.
They are all set, so they're heading out into the field. Jeremy saying, "Let's go, Jets!" Pumping them up.
He said, they're coming. Say, the Edge are staying in the field, and the Jets are coming. They're a very good offensive team.
Up to bat
They're
first
used
for
to
the
games
San
like
Antonio
this.
Jets.
They're not going to get down facing a 6-run deficit.
David Smith.
And this will be David Smith, as you might have heard on the loudspeaker, number 7 for the Jets, wearing his green baseball cap backwards as he comes up to the plate. Kind of matches his green baseball cleats. Green to be a Jet color. As he stands waiting at home plate, Jeremy tossing the ball back and forth from hand to hand. Our catcher is David. I believe that is David Smith's father.
David Smith as well.
Bases, please.
Getting that base check.
Play. Run to the back, y'all. Set, ready, ball.
And it's going to be a strike. Notice now that Jeremy yesterday, where he was standing off of center, today seems to be more right on center, lined up with his batter.
Dave Smith finishing second in the long ball competition. So you see another home run maybe.
Dropping down straight to the plate.
2 strikes.
2 strike. Play.
David breathing hard as he pulls the bat at the ready.
Set, ready, ball.
It's going to be a slow little clobber on the ground over into left, just inside the baseline as they scammed over. And he is out. That is going to be out by Eric Rodriguez in left field, sliding all the way over to the line to scoop that up with the putout.
Too much of the ground on that one for David Smith. He definitely wants to get that a little more aerial, especially with Eric Rodriguez on that side. So, you know, you're not going to get that past Eric.
Zach Arambula for the San Antonio Jets.
Zach up at bat.
So big out there for the edge defensively on David Smith. We saw him go 4 for 4 in the Blackhawks game. Very hot hitter right now, but again, too much on the ground. Sorry, Rosina.
I'm just ready for that pitch already.
Set, ready, ball.
It's out on the edge. It's going to be another grounder right out to Eric. Can he crawl up to it in time? He's got it with his body. And he is out. A double for Eric Rodriguez.
And that was as close of a play as you can get. Zach Arambula almost beat it out, but Eric isn't the best defensive player in the world for nothing. He knows the timing. He knows every base runner. And just another phenomenal putout. Too much of the ground again for the San Antonio batter.
Axel Cox.
He's going to bring up Axel Cox for the Jets. Standing right up against home plate, adjusting his jersey and his shoulder.
Need to get that ball in the air.
Checking this call, apparently.
The call is under review, and we did hear it was about as close as you can get to Zach hitting that base and Eric picking up the ball at the literal almost same moment. So this is a close one. The original call in the field's out, though.
Have Jason Price checking with all the judges all the way around the field, catching from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he'll have one more, the 5th, to double check with. As he comes back over to our first base judge.
Great hustle by Arambula.
Still conferring down at the first base with the last check.
They'll probably keep this call the same.
We will see what happens with it.
Yeah.
He is out. That will maintain the out.
Yeah, it was bang bang, and the original call was out. I would have been surprised if they reversed it. So Eric Rodriguez with the bang bang put out. Big, huge defensive play for the edge again. 2 outs. Bottom first, still yet to crack the scoreboard of the Jets. Axel Cox.
2 outs already. Let's see if Axel can break this streak. Stepping back off a home plate and at the ready. And that's going to be just under the bat for a strike.
1 strike.
It's going to be on, but it's just going to be fouled. Not have enough power to get past the pitcher's line.
Yeah, definitely not one you want offensively for Axel Cox, so he'll take it. 2 strikes.
Back up at home plate, setting his feet on the plate, seeing if Jeremy is ready, stepping back. And that is going to be a strike as it goes underneath and low on the outside of the bat.
Danger territory for the Jets in the first inning. Got 3 strikes, 2 outs. Need to make something happen.
Pulling that bat back up.
Don't think you'll see him pass.
And just a slight tick, enough to stay alive.
Yeah, Jeremy Lopez's hitters, really don't see any of them pass.
And ready for that pitch.
Set, ready, ball.
High pop-up, short into left, just barely fair. Oh, bouncing back, and that is going to be foul as both Axel and Eric pull up short, just shy of the base and the ball.
Axel still has his take. He's going to have to walk this one back and do it all over again. 2 outs, bottom of the first, 6-0 Edge.
Axel still making his way back. Eric pulling up his knee pads out in the field. Clapping his hands. He is ready. Umpire asking the batter if he is ready.
Strike. Wait. Got time.
We've got a time for just a moment. And ready to go.
3 strikes. Play.
Axel kind of taking a breath, stepping back off the plate.
Set, ready, ball.
And a hard slammer out into left past Eric. It's back in the back. They're trying to scramble for it. Past their hands, and he is going to be safe. Finally putting a run up on the board for the Jets by Axel Cox as it just stays outside of the reach of that far left outfield.
And that's exactly what the Jets needed. Furthest hit that we've obviously seen Jeremy Lopez produce so far in this championship game. Great hit by Axel Cox. Needed it with 3 strikes. Get the Jets rolling. 6-1.
For the San Antonio Jets,
Have
Will
Will
Lopez.
Lopez up for the Jets.
Saw him make a
Rotating that bat around.
phenomenal put out on Corey White in the top of the first inning. Otherwise, things could have been a lot worse for the Jets defensively. Trying to keep it going. 2 outs still.
A little practice drag of the bat over the plate. Rotating the bat around. Pulling it up at the ready.
Set, ready, ball.
And that's going to be a strike as it goes underneath the bat.
Mark Nick.
Morris and Mulhern being told to your play.
Set, ready, ball.
And it's going to be a light tap going foul.
2 strikes the count.
It's a 6-1 game. Edge.
2 strikes. Play.
Will Lopez desperately.
Set, ready, ball.
And again, just barely on that ball, just under the bat. Jeremy kind of rubbing his hand across his head as he gets the ball back.
His first championship game as a pitcher, so
His first year even pitching for the Jets this year and in the World Series championship game.
Set, ready, ball. Batter's out.
yeah, that's a tough
And
break.
Jeremy
Strikeout.
upset, ripping the mask off of his face
Yeah,
in
3 outs.
anger as he heads back to the
Move
bench.
to
That is
the top
out
of the second.
for
6-1
the Jets.
Edge.
They will have to head back out into the field and try to slow down the momentum that the Edge has gained on them in that first inning.
Yeah, that's a tough first inning. You know, you have those first 2 outs, put outs by Eric Rodriguez, and then you have an uphill battle because you have to do all of your rallying with 2 outs. And obviously Axel Cox able to produce a run, but Will Lopez not able to find that contact. Jeremy Lopez, you know, again, maybe pressing a little bit. His first ever inning in the championship game. Got to give him full credit in the world. Like you said, first year pitching, and he's in this championship game. So just full marks to him. But a tough start for the San Antonio Jets. Look, this Indy Edge team, they're undefeated. They haven't lost, and again, would be more than happy to be corrected, but they haven't lost in any tournament in any level this year. I'm not sure of all the tournaments they've competed in. I didn't have the privilege of calling any of them or traveling to any of them this particular season, but I know that whenever I would hear scoring results or updates, that the Edge were always on top. So this is a very, very tough team.
Definitely going to be difficult. The Jets have to dig in, especially on defense here. They have to slow down the Edge for putting all those runs up on the board. They're going to have to get some runs of their own, but they absolutely have to slow them down.
Absolutely starts defensively. 6-1 right now. You gotta have an inning where you're allowing a minimal. You know, you don't expect to hold them completely off the board. That's very hard to do with the caliber of hitters, especially coming up in this inning. You have Corey White, you have Justin Holland, Corey on White. So even in this inning alone, Rosina, you have just thunderous hitters for the Edge.
Corey on White.
Starting with Corey on.
up to bat for the Edge.
Scored his first time up.
Set. Pitch.
High pop-up. I'm not sure if that's going to stay. It's going to bounce, and it will be foul.
So it's tough. The umpire can't really make the call until it bounces, so sometimes with that hang time, those base runners are booking it down the line, and they have to come all the way back. Only the first strike. Top half of inning number 2, 6-1 Edge over the Jets.
You have Zach walking back to his position out on the field. He was running up to back up Ricky over here on the front right. Corian still making his way, taking his time up to home plate. Exhaling a little bit there, taking his time. Preparing himself to try to repeat that with a fair play.
Corey White telling his brother to get things started. It's one strike, nobody out.
Kyle ready for that pitch. It's going to be a light little tap, almost a repeat as it bounces foul right over to Jason Price's hands.
2 strikes to count. Top of inning number 2 in this NBBA Beep Baseball World Series Championship game. Edge Jets.
It's going to take a pass, I believe, here as he listens to it come across.
2-1 the count.
Set.
Hard clobbered. Kyle turned around to try to miss it, slammed him right in the gluteus maximus there. That has got to hurt. At least you have a little extra padding.
You gotta...
It's not like getting it in the face or the knees, but Kyle saying he's good as the calls asks him if he is okay. He says, I'm good.
It's a shame for Corian White. Count remains 2-1.
Well, that could have been a low going out to center ground. That might not have been the best option that he wanted.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Play.
Back up ready.
Set.
High pop-up. I believe this. Let's see if it'll be fair. And it is foul over just before third base.
Corian White's had some good contact in this at bat, but you know, got that full count now. One more chance to do it.
Corian walking his way back, this time from first base instead of third. Definitely getting tired early on. A lot of walkbacks, these fouls.
And these guys have played for now 5 grueling days in a row. This is the 6th for these 2 teams.
Brandon's backing on there.
Keep pitching like that, Kyle.
Encouragement to keep pitching just like that. Kyle tossing a chalk bag in his hand and then back to the catcher with it. Corian tossing away his sweat rag off of his shorts.
Another base check. And I want to correct myself, it's 4 days of grueling competition. Monday's only the skills, so Tuesday to Friday. It's only 4 days of 3 games a day.
1 ball, 3
For the
strikes.
Jets yesterday, they had 4.
Yeah.
Set. Pitch.
High pop-up far out into left. It's going to land somewhere in the Will Lopez area as he jumps down to scoop it up. And he has it out. He has scooped it up. It was right into his body. Easy pickup. Now, Corian White was still almost to the base, but that was definitely a quick grab by Will Lopez out in the field.
I think they're calling this a run. They gave him a run.
They're calling that a run?
Yep, they gave it a run.
Holy smokes.
At least that's what Richie Flores announced here. So that's a run for the Edge. Sounded like a very close play by Will Lopez, but Corian White, like you said, good hustle, is able to beat it out. 7-1 Edge.
I guess it's a good thing I'm not an umpire. I probably would have called that one out.
Jets maybe need to regroup a little bit. That was a tough, grueling at bat. Got to a full count, a few hard shots, and then finally you have almost another great play back there by Will Lopez, negated by the run just ahead by Corey on White. 2 for 2 now for him.
So this is going to be Corey White now up at bat. And that pitch was a little low, almost hitting the ground right as it got to home plate.
Corey White had Will Lopez make a great play on him in that first inning, so looking for his first run, his championship game.
Hard clobber on the ground out on the left, just rolling past Zach over. David just casually grabbing the ball as he... That was 7, David Smith with the putout.
David Smith, number 7.
So David Smith, big put out for him. Nice ground ball, good communication out there. Just got past that first line of defense. So the Jets, good defensive recovery, staying regrouped out there, and they get that first put out. So 0 for 2 for Corey White now. But here is Mr. Home Run.
Justin Holland, absolutely, trying to see if he can repeat that. It'd be pretty incredible to have 2 home runs in a game.
But he'll take another run scored for his team as they have a nice fat 7-1 lead in the top of the second inning, but could always use more against a team as prolific as the San Antonio Jets. You know they're going to score runs.
And it's going to be a little tap grounder up short. And it's sitting on the line. Ricky Castaneda with that out. It was sitting right on the line, it looked like to me. Ricky kind of grabbing around and grabbling it up. Ricky.
Number 88.
So Castaneda with the putout. So the exact opposite at bats for Justin Holland. A home run and a tapper that just stays fair. So you have a home run and one that goes maybe 40 foot 1 inch and almost still beat it to the base. Bang, bang play. This one goes to the San Antonio Jets and Ricky Castaneda.
Bringing Aaron C. up to the plate as Jason Price adjusts home plate.
Aaron
with the lines.
1 for 1. Good 2-strike hit his last, or 3-strike hit his last time in that first inning.
Kyle again chalking his hands with the chalk bag. Definitely a lot of moisture out in the air. While it is not raining here in Beaumont, Texas currently, folks, the air is very heavy.
All right, we're sitting in the field. Faces, please.
Ready in the field.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jay, can you turn that?
Getting in a slight adjustment on first base.
Faces for me again.
And that base check.
Thank you.
Aaron saying he's ready.
Turn it, eh? Got time?
Time on the field.
Time out in the field.
Top half of inning number 2.
Kyle getting the chalk back again.
Oh, okay, good.
Checking their defense.
And they're just checking the defense out there, folks. Want to be ready for Aaron C.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Hey, turn it. Play.
Bat down at the ground as he takes a pass to listen to it come across the plate.
Swinging the rest of the way as the Jets fielders communicated.
And the pitch was a little high. Resetting my feet. Aaron digging his back foot in. And this pitch was just barely under the bat. Couldn't have been more than a half an inch space between them. Aaron saying he's not worried at the plate. And it's going to be low and just under the bat again.
Well, hopefully he remains not worried because he has one chance at this now. 3-1 the count.
Tightening up those gloves and then twisting his toes into the dirt with the adjustments from Kyle.
Very confident up there.
And that's going to be an out
There's a
for
strikeout.
Aaron C.
That's
So
coming
on-
out.
Bring the Jets back in as the ball is tossed to the pitcher's area for Jeremy to take up
Bottom of
control
the second.
for
So
the Jets.
unable to duplicate the at bat in this first inning, but the Jets absolutely recovered defensively. They had that very tough run by Corian White. Like I said, grueling at bat, 3-strike hit, bang bang play. Call goes the way of Corian White, and then you got 1 strikeout, but you had 2 putouts. For the David Smith, Ricky Castaneda of the San Antonio Jets, and you only allow that 1 run when things could have been a lot worse. You get Justin Holland out, you get Corey White out, you get Aaron out, who had scored on you in that first inning. So, I mean, if you're the Jets, I mean, 7-1 is not a favorable score, but it could have been a lot worse after that first run scores. There's nobody out in your second inning. So great defense by the Jets as we switch sides now in the bottom of the second. Jets with their 5-6-1 batters coming up, trying to get back into this game.
Definitely Jets doing what they needed to do. You know, they played some good defense out there, maintained, held down the edge. Now they've got to get up on their offense and get some runs up on the board. But compared to the first inning, they did what they needed to do and held the edge.
They only got that run from Axel Cox in the bottom of the first inning. Let's see if Jeremy Lopez can get those.
It's going to be Ricky
Jitters out.
Castaneda for the Jets.
Out to bat for the San Antonio Jets, Ricky Castaneda.
One of the most improved defensive players for the Jets this year.
Oh, it's going to be a light little snick on that ball.
Sound like he got the very, very end of the bat on that one.
Hard clobber out into center, just past Eric Rodriguez, going back out. Nick Mulhern, he is going to...
Runner is safe.
That is safe, putting another run up there for the Jets. That was very close out there.
Very, very close.
Nick Mulhern had ran over there to slide his body over behind Eric, but just not doing it.
So those bang bang plays, and I've heard over the years, Ty goes to the runner, Ty goes to the fielder. In this game, Ty is going to the runner in this game for sure. Ricky Castaneda, bang bang play. He might have gotten there just before Nick Mulhern maybe had full control over the ball, and scores that run, second for the San Antonio Jets. Nobody out, 7-2 edge.
Renee up to bat for the Jets.
Saw him have some good putouts deep defensively against the Blackhawks yesterday.
And ready for the pitch. Oh, and just on the lower outside edge of the bat.
Big at bat here for the Edge defense. David Smith on deck. They flip it up to the top of that order.
And it's going to be a foul as it tips right back directly to the catcher.
Saying down the middle is where he likes to go.
And another tick right back off to the catcher. Just trying to get a little bit more meat on that ball to send it flying.
3 strikes, one more shot.
And that pitch was a little low.
There's a strikeout.
Tough
That
break.
will be bringing David up, giving the Jets an out.
You never want to give at-bats away via the strikeout, but we've only seen 2 on each side, so that hasn't been a big factor in this game. So now you flip it up with David Smith. He's 0 for 1.
David Smith.
And this is where the top of the order has to start producing runs. Axel Cox, the only one out of their top 3 that has produced a run so far early for the Jets.
So David now up at home plate, feeling for the front edge corner. Stepping back off the plate. Bat at ease. Pulling that bat up into both hands over the shoulder. And it's going to be a strike as it's low under the bat by about 2 to 3 inches.
1 strike.
David exhaling as he pulls the bat up at the ready.
Heard that
Just
swing.
barely low off of that bat.
2 strikes.
Encouragement from the bench. Another exhale, pulling the bat up. And that is going to be another strike. That was almost a repeat pitch of the previous one.
3 strikes.
David kind of wiping off his right hand. Pulling the bat up. And it's going to be a hard clobber out on the left. It just bounced past Eric Rodriguez. Going back out in the field. They've caught right to him, and that is going to be an out for the edge by Mark Morris.
Very strong front line with Mark Morris, Eric Rodriguez. If it gets past Eric Rodriguez, you still got Mark Morris and Nick Mulhern, Corey White up the middle. So it's tough to get past that line of defense. Again, a little too on the ground. It had a little more hang time to it, but it was on the ground for those guys. Unable to beat it to the base for David Smith. Not enough hang time again. A little more than the last at bat, but 0 for 2 for David Smith. 2 outs in the inning.
Bringing Zach back up to bat for the Jets. Wearing a very heavy left arm elbow pad. Hard clobber out into center, landing just past the second line. Nick falling down, Corey falling down, and he is going to be safe, putting finally another run up for the Jets.
That's his first run of the game with 2 outs. Needed it for the Jets, so they're up down 7-3 now. So they've responded to the edge 1 run in their second with 2 in their half, but obviously trailing by 4 runs need to keep making some noise. So Axel Cox is 1 for 1. He scored in the first.
Axel Cox.
Tough break there. The Nick Mulhern, Corey White going for it, but Zach Arambula, a really fast runner, Rosina, so that hang time got him to the base in plenty of time.
Just giving him those few seconds needed to get there. It was very close to being picked up.
And it's going to take every bit of that hustle to the base for the Jets because, as we highlighted, the Edge have some all-world fielders.
Any defense out there.
Nope.
Axel stepping back away from home plate. It's going to be a light tap foul on the left. Stepping back off a home plate again. And it's going to be a high over the bat on that one.
Second strike, 2 outs. Bottom second.
And Jeremy coming up to adjust the base. He says it is off. Defense trying to defend. Jets desperately needing more runs on the board. And it's going to be a little low on the outside for a strike.
Need that contact. 3 strikes now.
Axel kind of shaking his head as he pulls that bat back up.
Jeremy telling him, I'm barely missing you.
And just a little bit early on the
That's a
swing,
strikeout.
and that is going to be out, sending the Jets back out to defend the small, meager runs that they managed to inch in.
Yep, they got runs by Ricky Castaneda and Zach Arambula, but they still trail 7-3 as we go to the third, so not the worst deficit in the world, but starting to become a little bit of a theme, Rosina. Jeremy with 3 strikeouts now, only 1 more than Kyle Kennedy, but when you have the fielders that the Edge do, and again, not to be too critical of a guy who's in his first ever championship game, who's pitching his first year with the Jets, but it is tough to give up those strikeouts because, you know, the Edge are going to make plays as it is, and when you're chasing the game and when you're trying to catch offense, you know, striking out, you know, Axel Cox and having 2 strikeouts in an inning on David Smith was the other one. That's tough. It's going to be tough to make up those runs when you don't even put the ball in play.
It's definitely hard for the Jets, and they definitely are going to have to work. This is not going to be some easy game for them to take on the Edge. If they're going to do this, it's going to take every ounce of effort from every single player out there, both defensively and offensively. They all have to dig in. Everybody has to be giving basically a near perfect game here to not only recover those 7 runs, but to overtake and to, you know, hold the Edge down down, and to beat them, I mean, they're just going to really have to just be on their A game in every possible position.
And now the Edge are going to start with their top of their order with Eric Rodriguez. So, yep, the Jets, Nick Mulhern next. The Jets are going to have to be on it. The speed is coming to the plate. And we're in our top of inning number 3 in this NBBA championship game of the World Series. Thank you for all of those who tuned in. It is Edge 7, Jets 3.
A couple practice tosses by Kyle there. It seems a little relaxed. He just had the chalk bag in his hands, drying his hands out. Seems to be using the chalk bag almost between every batter, really trying to maintain. There's so much moisture in the air here. It feels like it could let loose with rain at any moment here in Beaumont, Texas.
Please, no. But Eric Rodriguez, 1 for 2, scored in his last at bat. Got some nice hang time on it.
Eric ready for that pitch. Hard pop up. It's going to be really short. See if it's going to be foul.
Yep, always
Ricky
tough.
was right on top of that. He was running up and already up to the pitcher lines. It was very close if that would have been fair.
So, the first strike.
As Eric slowly walks his way up. Not in any big hurry. Kind of smiling. Kyle telling him everything looks good. And back at home plate as he steps off. Thumbs up to Kyle. Getting a slight adjustment there on his feet placement. Oh, a grounder almost took out Kyle, popping into center. It's just past it, sliding right to him, but can they get it? And it is out. That is going to be an out by, I believe, Axel Cox out in center far field.
That's his first put out of the game. Thought he had one in the last inning, but it was actually David Smith. But he has this put out, and Eric Rodriguez 1 for 3. And the theme of his at-bats, when he's gotten it in the air, he scored. The 2 ground balls he's hit, that one was have both been fielded, although that one was a lot sharper hit than his first ground ball.
It went directly to the base.
One out, though.
Nick Mulhern up.
Also 1 for 2 coming into this at-bat for the Edge. First out, though, recorded by the Jets. 4 consecutive.
Nick
Defensively.
saying thank you that they said his name right. Mulhern.
Thank you. Thank you. Play.
Rotating that bat wildly with the left hand before bringing it out in front and up over the shoulder. And hard swing, but just underneath. It's going to be a strike as it just narrowly misses.
2 strikes now.
Taking a pass on that, standing at ease. Really tightening up those batting gloves. Bat out in front and up at the shoulder. Wow, just catching a slight piece of that to keep himself alive.
Trying to get a freebie here, 3 strikes.
Kyle telling the catcher to adjust his mitt.
He's actually struck out once already in this game.
And again, just catching another light piece of that.
Nice food, Kyle. Right down the middle. He'll find you.
Standing at home plate, then setting his back up along the front, hopping back into position.
One ball. 3 strikes.
Full count.
And that's going to be out for Nick.
2 strikeouts for Nick Mulhern in this game individually. Nick Mulhern individually. A little surprising there. 3rd strikeout for Kyle Kennedy as well. Don't expect that. Corian White, he's 2 for 2. He's been the best player for the Edge offensively so far, and he scored that run last inning that the Jets thought they might have had that put out by Will Lopez. Rosina Foster definitely thought it was an out. Very close play. Umpire just called him safe.
So this is Corian again as Jets are set in the field.
And the Jets 1 out away from putting up a clean 0.
high pop-up out into center to right, past, just dropping behind Ricky, scrambling over, but he is going to be safe before David can get it up. He almost had that ball, just not quite up in the air, so it's going to be a run.
So Corian White continues to be the offensive story for the Edge, 3 for 3. Perfect for him, and it's 8-3 now. They do not get out of it unscathed, do the San Antonio Jets. Now Corey White looking for some redemption. He's 0 for 2. Trying to score his first run of the game. Both have been great putouts. The one by Will Lopez. I believe David Smith or Ricky, one of those guys made the putout on him the second time, but he's been put out both times.
Kyle with a couple practice tosses with the ball. Field is now ready.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was Smith that got Corey White.
Hard clobber on the ground over and to left. It is going to be far past Zach. David running over to try to back him up, but not in time. There's going to be another run for the Edge. Corey White just barely out of the hands.
So 2 runs here for the Edge by the White brothers with 2 outs, 9-3 Edge. And Corey White, that time, the rare time we've seen a ground ball just result in a run. Good running there by Corey White to the base. Out hustled the play. A good ground ball hit.
Justin Holland.
He's 1 for 2, but his run produced 2 for the Indy Edge. It was a home run in the first inning.
Thank you.
Listening for those bases. Blue batting gloves.
Grounded out to Ricky last time.
Oh, it's going to be a pop-up back just past the catcher.
Way to get that up. One strike. Play.
Back up at the ready. Oh, that's going to be a strike as it slides under the bat by about 1.5 inches.
Couple of strikes, no take yet. See if Justin Holland uses his pass.
And that's going to be another strike. Almost a repeat, still low under the bat.
One of the guys on Kyle Kennedy's lineup I don't expect to see take a pass.
Just
Oh, well, he did.
took a pass.
Full count.
Every time you have said that, Matt, you've taken a pass.
Yes. Yep.
Low. And it's going to be another strike.
That's a strikeout.
That is Justin shaking his head.
So again, 2 strikeouts, Rosina, for Kyle Kennedy in this inning. 4 for him. 9-3 going to the bottom of the third. And if you're the Jets, you're still honestly just looking at it as the Edge scored 6 in the top of the first, and that's where we were. And it's the bottom of the third, and we're still down by 6. I mean, it's the same thing. They still need that deficit. It has kind of set the tone for the game. As you get 2 runs by the White brothers, Corey and Corian in that inning to make sure that the Edge don't come up empty. They got the first 2 outs with ease. Did the Jets. They got a nice put out first batter by Axel Cox, but then a couple strikeouts by Kyle Kennedy. So we'll see in the bottom of the third, the Edge still up by 6. The Jets need to have that significant inning, that 4 or 5 run inning like the Jets had in that first.
That same goal is
The
going to
Edge
be
had
in
some.
their minds. They've somewhat maintained out there on defense, and it's crucial now for them to put runs up on the board. They can't keep setting at a 6-run deficit. They can't just go back and forth. They're going to have to make a move and take that challenge,
Absolutely.
pull it up.
Because you got 2 games to win today if you're the San Antonio Jets. You got to come back and win this game and then somehow harness that energy and do it all over again. Not an easy day for them, but they need to think of it 1 at-bat at a time. 9-3 is not the biggest deficit in the world. Will Lopez is going to start this bottom of the third inning for the San Antonio Jets. He struck out his first time up.
Will Lopez.
Will Lopez with his red and white Nike cleats standing at the ready at home plate. Swinging that bat a couple times before bringing to the ready. And swinging just a hair early on that and missing.
But this is when we start getting to the middle portion of this game. Runs become a lot more critical. Stay in it for the Jets. So.
And just barely a slight miss there. Perfectly centered, just low under the bat. practice swing there by Will. And a light tap. Can barely stay fair going into short left. Eric's going to have to scramble, keep scrambling for it. Oh, I believe he might have missed the base on the first time. He is going to be out. That should have been a run. Eric was very slow on scrambling for that for his typical nature. Not quite seeing the first base. I'm not quite sure what happened on that.
Yeah.
No way that he should have missed that base.
Didn't sound like the fastest run, and he missed it, and so Eric Rodriguez gave him a gift. You know, he didn't field it as crisply as you would expect. A short ground ball. Will Lopez perfectly hitting it where they ain't, so to speak, but he gave the gift right back to the Indy edge, and that's a very tough break when you're chasing 6 runs. Will Lopez drops to 0 for 2, put it in play, but out number 1. Ricky 1 for 1, did score in his first at bat in the second inning. That's a very tough break for the Jets to start their third inning. Got to regroup. The weird part of the bat, that very end part of the bat. I think we saw him hit it on that part of the bat last time.
Last time up at bat as well.
It's an interesting sound.
He has that very peculiar hold on his bat up against his body. And this one very inside, almost up by his hands. Bringing that bat back up at the ready, up against his waist.
Third strike. Right to the broadcasting tandem of Rosina Foster and Matt Wallace, but just past.
We happen to have a box of spare balls down there, Matt, and that's what kept it from rolling onto our feet.
3 strikes, though, again. Gotta find the bat.
And
like
he
that.
does, just out into right field, just passing. Oh, scrambling for the ball.
That's a run score.
It is a run. That wasn't.
Ricky. That was just a narrow miss by Corey on White. Just not quite getting that ball. He had to slide his body sideways, trying to recover from slowing it down, just not getting it in time.
So, good piece of 3-strike hitting. It's 9-4 now as a
Desperately
2 for
needed
2.
that after that miss earlier. They just can't have too many of those mistakes. They're already scrambling to recover.
So
they recovered from it nicely there, and Rene Almanza, he didn't score his first time up, trying to get his first run of the game.
There's a readjustment at the plate there by pitcher Jeremy. As Rene resets at home plate, at ease on his shoulder.
Only Arambula, Cox, and Castaneda twice for the Jets have scored.
Getting a firm grip on the bat at the ready. Hard, almost taking Jeremy's head out as he leaned into it, bouncing past Nick Mulhern's hands, scrolling for the ball, and he is out.
Corey White made the play.
With that put out.
Corey White.
Oh, we're going to have a...
We're going to review this one, but...
Nope, that is out.
Okay,
Bringing
yep.
David up to bat.
Yeah, good hit. Good hit there by Rene. Not as fast as he would have liked maybe to the base, so allowing Corey White the time in deep center to make the play, but still not the slowest run either. It was a decent play made by Corey White.
Just outside of Nick's hands, and Corey White picking that up.
His first put out of the day.
Thank you.
2 outs now for the Jets.
At the ready. It's going to be a grounder over into left. See if it's going to get past Eric Rodriguez. No, Eric has that like nothing.
Man, David
Eric
Smith.
Rodriguez scooping that up easily like it was not even an effort.
So that'll switch sides, Rosina, and David Smith, just the best hitter on the Jets this entire tournament. 0 for 3 today, just cannot get it off the ground. Another ground out for him. Obviously, you're not going to get that past Eric Rodriguez. That is not the type of hit that David Smith wants to take. And that's the 4th put out by Eric Rodriguez. Second of that inning. He had 2 as well in the first.
Eric is a monster over there in short left. That was a matter of him kind of scrambling forward about 3 to 4 steps and just casually grabbing it and popping that up for an easy out.
And you get the run by Ricky Castaneda, but that's it for the Jets in that inning. Not the response they were looking for. Obviously,
Slowly, just barely creeping forward, Matt.
yeah, and Will Lopez, that very tough break, missing the base to start the inning, could have been a much bigger or different inning if that doesn't happen. Don't know. Obviously, we'll never know. Jeremy Lopez not striking anyone out that inning, so finding the bats consistently. But Corey White with a good play in deep center field. So,
Eric Rodriguez,
yep.
yeah, total beast out there. This team is set defensively.
So still a 9-4 spread. So once again, we feel like a broken record saying this, but the Jets have got to buckle down defensively and make the plays, because the Edge, I feel like, are one big inning from really ending this championship game for all intents and purposes.
We're moving to the top of the 4th.
Other than that first inning, I mean, Jets do seem like they're buckling down on their defense a little bit. They were a little slow on that start off, but it just doesn't seem like they're getting, any momentum offensively. It's just a very hard struggle for them, just barely inching along and maintaining to stay alive.
And with 9 outs to play, you really can't afford any strikeouts. Jeremy Lopez, we'll keep saying it, his first ever championship game, so we're not trying to crucify him at all. Yeah, so he's been doing well.
And again, a thank you and a shout out to the city of Beaumont, Texas, and their hospitality, all the volunteers running water, equipment, scorekeepers, everything that they've been doing out here at the Chris Quinn Soccer Complex. We really appreciate all the help that makes this game possible.
And we thank all of you listening to this championship game. We are at the halfway point, about to start our 4th inning. Edge Jets 9-4 Indy.
Aaron C. up at bat.
1 for 2.
Taking that pass.
Seen him do that his first pitch every time. He struck out last time up. Scored a run on 3 strikes his first time up.
And that ball, a high arch right over the bat. Kyle already shaking his head as soon as the ball left his hands. And a little on the low side.
Kyle Kennedy, I want to say 22 years of age, so a young kid trying to finish this game out strong.
I'm going to guess he's older than 22. And, oh!
That's me, he says.
Aaron saying, hey, take your time. Don't worry about it. Bringing that bat back up at the ready. It's going to be a hard clobber short
think that's gonna
to
stay
right.
fair.
I don't think it will stay up. It is going to be foul, and it's a good thing because Ricky was all over that. He was already almost at the ball.
So Aaron making some good 3-strike contact there. See if he can do it again. 3-1 the count. Nobody out. Jets guys saying this is still within reach.
It definitely is if they can get some offense going and runs on the board.
Yes.
They really need those runs desperately at this point.
Absolutely.
They have to hold down and maintain the defense they're putting in, but you can't win without any runs.
Nope, and 4 runs in 3 innings against the Indy Edge isn't going to do it. So they're going to have to up that significantly. And we talk about David Smith and all these other guys, but it really is just as much the pitcher, Rosina. Finding those bats, staying calm.
It really is. He's just given quite a bit of change on Aaron's foot placement here as they're waiting for this. Aaron twisting his toes into the dirt. Taking a deep sigh before bringing that bat up at the ready. Kyle having the catcher lower his mitt.
Nope.
And it's still going to be just under it for an out for Aaron C.
So that's his
Kyle
second
shaking
strikeout.
his head, slapping his hips with both hands. You can feel the anger emanating from Kyle right now.
So he's 1 for 3 as Aaron C. And every member of the Indy Edge have scored. So on one hand, that is good that every member of their starting lineup has at least 1 run. On the other hand, what's becoming a developing story is Kyle Kennedy's 5 strikeouts.
This is definitely a gift to the Jets. They didn't have to work or do anything to maintain that out. But this is bringing Eric Rodriguez up to bat.
We've seen the secret to his success in this game is to keep that ball in the air, get that hang time.
Eric nodding he's ready. Hard pop-up again, far out center into the third position. They're scrambling. There's no way they're going to get that before he is. That is an easy run.
Yep.
That's a score by Eric Rodriguez.
I like when occasionally they prove me right when I say something, so Eric Rodriguez's secret to his success is definitely getting it in the air, but that was a pop that nobody was really going to field. 2 for 4 for him.
Running out there from the field, but it was just so far. By the time he would have gotten to it, it was way up.
So 10 to 4.
Nick Mulheron.
Nick Mulheron 1 for 3. He struck out twice though, as I thought I just felt some light drizzling.
That'll just cool us all off here on the field, Matt.
So 1 out in the inning. Nick Mulheron looking
for a new ball as well.
Looking for some redemption.
Nick waiting patiently at home plate while we get a new ball. Kyle getting a quick drink of water from his bench. Definitely feeling the pressure there with those strikeouts. Wiping the sweat off of his hands with his towel. Doesn't want that ball to slip at all.
But still finding 10 runs, so still doing a very good job.
Getting the chalk bag. And Jason Price handing Kyle the ball as he walks back to pitch. A couple practice tosses since we do have a new ball here. First one was a little on the far side.
Here we go. Here we go.
Mark is going to play. He's a player. He's going to be a batter. No DH.
And Nick Mulheron up at the plate. Bat out at front and up over the shoulder. And just barely catching a nick on that. Rotating that back out in front and up over the shoulder. Yeah, again, just dropping straight down to the plate, just barely catching a piece of these.
A couple of contacts, but a couple of strikes.
It does keep you alive, but it can be very frustrating. It can wear and tear on your psyche. Taking that pass as he listens to it across the plate.
So unlike Aaron, who takes that first pitch, we see Nick usually take that middle pitch. 2 strikes.
And ready. High pop-up, a good 130 feet up in the air, landing down in the center, right in front of Zach. But can he get... And no, he cannot. That is going to be a run for Nick.
Zach, usually one of the best defensive players on the planet, but obviously that hang time, forget about it. By the time it bounced down, he may have had a little over a second to get that ball. Sorry, Rosina.
Yeah, even after it bounced, Matt, that bounced back up even way over his head. That was the force that it was coming down with.
And a huge run for Nick Mulheron, so he gets his second run of the day to get to 2 for 4 for himself, and a nice 11-4 lead for the Edge.
Bringing Corian White up to bat for the Edge.
And he's been the offensive star to this point. 3 for 3, has not been retired yet.
Getting that base check. Twisting that bat up over the shoulder. High pop-up out into right field, just in front of
Just
Ricky.
hit the ground.
He's got to grab it, and he's going to be safe. Just not allowing those high balls, are just not allowing enough time for them to get that before these speedsters are getting the base.
Yep, Castaneda, another good defensive player. You expect him to make those plays, but he had no time. 4 for 4 for Corian White, 12-4 now. And this is what happens, you know, you hold the Edge defensively for a couple innings, but a team like the Indy Edge is eventually going to hit, and if you don't have that offense catch up by that point, you may fall well behind. And 12-4, game may start to get a little bit away from the San Antonio Jets here.
And Ricky was absolutely there. He was in place. He was doing everything he should have, just not having enough time to get the job done. This is Corey White.
1 for 3, scored his last time up. Hit the ball solidly all 3 times, though.
And that's going to be a little high on the bat for a strike.
We know he has power. He won the World Series last year with a walk-off 6th inning homer.
Another strong exhale. Lifting the bat. High pop up over
Did he
in
kill
the
it?
far left. It's not, and it's bouncing past
Just hit the ball.
David, and Will, no time at all for Will to get that ball. He's
Red
asking
scores
for a
now.
check. He can't hear the ball. He's actually
Check it out,
leaning
dead
way in
ball.
front of it, not it's behind him. So there might be a possibility
Yeah.
of a dead ball.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it's chanting tick.
You can hear the chant from the edge, tick, 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 hoping that it's ticking.
Because man, did he
Double
wallop that.
umpire check on this. We have two separate umps going over to check. And they're holding the hat over their chest as a fact that it is a funeral, so that will indeed be a dead ball call.
So a redo for Corey White. That's a tough break for him, but he knows he can strike the ball hard.
Corey
one
making
strike.
a muscle motion there with his arm as if he killed that ball and sent it to its death.
Which he did. 12-4 in favor of the Edge, top of the fourth. So the Edge starting to not exactly taste it, but they're starting to smell it a little bit, Rosina. Cooking's definitely starting to smell a little bit in the kitchen for the Edge championship. They got 9 more outs to get, and they're starting to increase this lead. Corey White, one of their best hitters, trying to increase it.
With the new ball, so Kyle will get a couple practice tosses here in as Corey stands at the ready. Listening with that clap on the leg as it comes across the plate to set up for timing.
Kyle Kennedy pumped up as well.
And that base check.
One strike. Wait.
Bringing the bat, swinging up over the shoulder.
Set.
And that's going to be a strike as it's above the bat.
2 strikes now.
Let's go.
Bell.
Set.
Took a pass. Holding the bat out in front with his left hand.
Kyle Kennedy, one of the... Oh, wait.
Strong exhale by Corey. Kyle telling him to just calm down.
Set.
And it is not going to happen.
3 strikes. Kyle Kennedy, one of the few elite pitchers, one of the only ones that we see encourage his batters to take a pass, relax, time it up.
Corey regripping that bat, bringing it at the ready.
Set.
And it's going to be flying out into right field. Far are going to have them scrambling for that. That is not going to happen. They're just out there far enough. There's no time at all to make that happen. That was Renee out there in far right. It was just a scramble. He knew that he was not going to get there in time.
So 13-4 now, as the Edge have scored their 4th consecutive run after Aaron C's strikeout. Corey White just got all that one. Kyle Kennedy starting to find those bats, and the man, he's only 1 for 3 in the game, but that one produced 2 runs, and that's Justin Holland. The home run in the very first inning.
So Kyle coming up to talk with Justin.
Still only 1 out as well.
We have some instruction telling him which pitches were good and swings for Justin Holland.
We've just been told Mark Morris will be pinch hitting for Aaron C. He'll be, well, he not necessarily a pinch hitter. He's been out there fielding. So
He's
he'll
going to take both sides
take both
now.
sides, yep.
And it's going to be a little short flubber there for Justin. Is it going to roll fair? I think it is, and Ricky's over there scooping it up, and that is out for little Ricky.
That's a put out.
That's a big put out there. Castaneda, we've seen a couple put outs from him today. The second out for the Jets in the inning. Fortunate there, they got a ground ball. So here's Morris, as promised. Justin Holland, 1 for 4. Hasn't seen that kind of, he hit the home run, then he's had a couple of weak chop outs to Ricky and a strikeout. So he's had a tough since that home run. That was his home run, he's like, my work's done. His last 3 at-bats haven't been productive, but the first at-bat here today for Mark Morris.
Mark joking as he's up at home plate.
Critical juncture of the game for the Jets, starting to be closer to that 12-run rule than getting back into the game.
They definitely need to keep them held here. And scooping golf swing there, just missing that ball as it goes over the bat.
So Aaron C, 1 for 3, scored a run.
And again, just going underneath the bat, down low at home plate. And some more adjustment, turning toward the pitcher. And it's going to be foul along the left base side. Mark coming back toward the plate. As Kyle retrieves the ball, wipes all the sweat off of his face before heading up to pitch. Resetting back up at home plate, lining his bat with the front corner, and also an adjustment home plate. Now he's got his back near the back edge of the plate. Adjusting that front left foot. And a strong exhale.
Still can take that pass.
Kyle asks him if he wants to take it to catch his breath, and he's taking it. The boring call from the Jets bench.
Come on, man.
Bat back up over the shoulder. And this time it's over the bat, and then it's going to be out.
So
Now the Jets have to. They absolutely have to. There's nothing else for it. They cannot wait any longer. It'll be too late. They have got to get runs up on the board.
the good news for the Jets is they got 2 more strikeouts from Kyle Kennedy. He's actually struck out 6 guys. The bad news is you had Eric Rodriguez score, you had Nick Mulherron score, you had the White brothers each score, and now it's 13-4. And at this point, you're
Bottom of the fourth.
not to keep sounding like that broken record, but yes, this has got to be that big inning for the Jets. I mean, if anything, you start to look at the 12-run rule as a possibility. I mean, we're getting late here. This is their 4th turn at bat. The Jets cannot waste one more opportunity to get back into this game. This has to be the inning to make it happen.
And it's not like they have any help out in the defense. The defense has not changed. They still have, Eric Rodriguez out there. They still have Nick. They've still got those people out there waiting to gobble up those balls as quickly as they can. And they have in the past. They've been getting that job done and shutting down the Jets.
We've seen Eric Rodriguez, in fact, have 4 putouts today. And that's why Jeremy Lopez's 3 strikeouts are even more magnified. But you have Axel Cox trying to get things started. He's 1 for 2. So let's see if they can make something happen here. Or is this Zach? That's Zach Arambula. Zach Arambula. Yeah, my bad.
For the Jets. Bird call out there by Eric Rodriguez and short left.
Thank you.
Up the bat, Zach Arambula.
He is one of the runs scored for the Jets today.
Hard, but it's going to be down on the ground center, and Eric's going to scoop that up, and he does.
Stop made by Eric
Just
Rodriguez
laid right
on the
down,
grounder
fumbled just a
left.
tiny bit with his hands till he found it, but that was an easy out for Eric Rodriguez.
Against the edge, if you're going to hit one on the ground, that's akin to striking out. I mean, that really is. I mean, you're just not going to get it past.
Certainly, if it's going to be on the ground, you don't want it in left.
And Eric Rodriguez just vacuuming all them up, but Rosina, he can also carry a cover a bunch of ground. You hit it on that right side, he'll slide all the way over and make that play too. So, he's just a phenomenal defensive player, recording that first out of the inning. Once again, unable to get enough air under it for a Jets hitter. They're the Jets. It's supposed to be their thing. Air.
Axel Cox here up at home plate, stepping back off of it, and at the ready.
1 for 2 for Axe as well.
And the ball being a little high over the bat.
Bottom 4.
And again, this time low under the bat.
2 strikes.
Smooth 22, let's go, baby.
I believe that was Kalari Jackson behind us saying smooth 22. And a solid slam bouncing that went to the ground just past Eric as Mark Moore scrambles to go get that, but he is going to be
Runner
safe.
safe.
plowing into third base, knocking the base from the
Brings San
stand.
Antonio Jets to 5
Axel
runs.
means business. He knew they needed the runs, and maybe this is the momentum they need to get this going.
Well, it's a start, and that's the second run of the game for Axel Cox, so he's had a good day. He's 2 for 3. He's done his part to help this Jets attack, but that one was a little bit, it didn't have the most hang time, but it's a little bit sharper hit.
Their door wide open in the parking lot.
Somebody has their car wide open. If you're listening to this NBBA live stream, definitely go and shut your car door. Definitely not safe. 13-5.
Bringing Will Lopez up
0
to
for
bat.
2. He's had a tough day at the plate. He has a strikeout.
Getting that base check. Pointing
Up to
at the
bat, Will
bases.
Lopez.
Twisting that back foot into the dirt, rotating the bat. Nope, readjusting some feet placement. And at the ready. And swinging a hair early, and that's going to be a strike. High pop up. I'm pretty sure that's going to be foul. Over
Right,
to
directly,
the
yeah.
bystanders on the Indy side.
Great hang time. 4
Just needs to
seconds
keep
of hang
that
time.
fair, and that would be exactly what they need.
That had amazing hang time. That was just keep that fair, and that'll be a run. 2 strikes.
2 strikes. Play.
Rotating that bat up and over the shoulder. Just barely catching a little tick on that ball.
So 3 strikes. We don't see Jeremy Lopez, unlike Kyle Kennedy, we don't see free passes from his hitters for the most part.
And gonna be low under the bat.
There's a strikeout.
And I actually think he might have had 2 strikeouts before. I think that might be 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts for Will Lopez. It's definitely 0 for 3. Tough day for him at the plate. And that's
Up to
2
bat
outs
for
now.
the San Antonio Jets, Ricardo Castaneda.
And Castaneda, he's 2 for 2. He's been one of the lone bright spots for the Jets today. He and Axel Cox making up 4 of their 5 runs. Arambula with the other, 1 for 3. So let's see if Castaneda can keep his perfect day going. They need it though. Down by still 8 runs.
Listening for those bases. Bringing the bat up at the right. Adjustment from the home plate. Bat right up against the waist. And the ball a little on the inside. Ricky kind of leans forward as he swings. Steps into the plate. And just underneath.
2 strikes. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom 4.
And again, it's just going to be a little low underneath that bat. You kind of wonder if Jeremy's starting to feel the stress of this, is emotionally.
Yep.
You know, this is his first World Series. It's hard to keep your composure when you're behind.
Especially you're running out of outs now. Yep.
And again, low. Jeremy ripping his mask
Another
off
strikeout.
as he walks back over to the bench, because that will send the Jets out into the field. They did not do what they absolutely needed to do, which was put a bunch of runs up on the board.
You got 1 run from Axel Cox, and that's it. And basically, this entire game, they scored 1 run in the first inning, 2 runs in the second inning, 1 run in the third inning, 1 run in the fourth. I mean, that's the story of the game. The Edge, 6 runs in the first inning.
That's
I mean, that's-
definitely enough to keep you alive in a close game, just to maintain. But in a game like this against the Edge, those little 1-run innings, they're just not. They're not going to do the job to win.
And unfortunately, your 3 outs, Rosina, in the inning, a weak ground ball and 2 strikeouts. I mean, that's, Jeremy Lopez first championship game. It's starting to show here late in this game. Give Eric Rodriguez credit. He's gotten 5 putouts. He's done his job. And the edge fielders have done their job, but for the most part, this is the Jets not getting the contact that we're used to seeing. We saw Corey White in the fourth inning, the third inning, make a very good play defensively in deep center. But for the most part, this has just really been about disappointingly weak contact throughout the course of the game, or no contact from the San Antonio Jets. Not to harp on the strikeouts too much. 5 strikeouts. Kyle Kennedy has 6. I mean, you know, it's not like Jeremy's been overboard with the strikeouts, but when you're getting weak contact, when you're down by a significant amount of runs, it really does magnify things. And now you're in the 5th inning. You only have 6 outs to get, and you scored 5 runs in your first 4 innings.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can see the little bit of discouragement. Their hands on hips as they wait out in the field. Definitely going to have to pull this out. I mean, they have Eric Rodriguez up at bat, and you know, he's definitely not worried from his standpoint of where he's sitting both offensively and defense. Might not be the perfect offensive game for Eric, but you know, he's still feeling really good and confident.
Yeah, and he's still 2 for 4, so he still has a couple runs scored, and if he can get that ball in the air, I'm looking for another run here.
Nodding at Kyle that he's ready. And it's going to be a hard grounder out into right, just past Ricky over there. But I believe that was David Smith for the putout. Scooping up 7, backing up Ricky there, and scooping that up for an out on Eric Rodriguez.
Second putout for him in this championship game, and you see some energy infused into the Jets right there as he makes that putout. And again, Eric Rodriguez, 2 hits where he got some hang time, 3 putouts against him when he hit that on the ground. So it's been the secret to his offensive day. For sure.
Definitely what the Jets need to do. They've got to hold him here so they can get some runs on the board. It's crucial. I mean, they've got to keep him from widening that gap even more. That way they can at least attempt to catch up.
Absolutely, but not an easy task here. Nick Mulherron, 2 for 4 in his own right, and the only 2 times he's been out today are via the strikeout. So both times he's put it in play, he's easily scored.
Nick wearing a bright turquoise blue head cap underneath his blindfold. Have that light, gentle little off and on mist going on here in Beaumont, Texas. And it's going to be a grounder center bouncing just off of Zach's body. And can they recover it? No, they cannot. That's going to be another run for Nick. Absolutely. When he gets that contact, he is on.
That ground ball, though, that's a ground ball that very easily could have been fielded by Zach Arambula. You expect him to make that play. He expects to make that play. And that's a very tough break for him as you know, everyone makes mistakes. Zach Arambula and Eric Rodriguez being no exception. But unfortunately, in an 8-run game, now a 9-run game, those mistakes are magnified. That had to be an out. As the guy coming up now, Corian White, is 4 for 4 coming in on the day. That had to be an out for the San Antonio Jets. But the edge, big run, great hustle by Mulherron, 14-5.
Just too hard to hit to stop. Getting another duplicate check on third. Kyle looking out into the field. Corian at the ready. And that's going to be far and low on the back.
What am I supposed to do?
And once again, the edge responding to the Jets' run with at least one of their own.
And again, far on the outside, just barely out of that bat reach.
2 strikes.
And taking a pass.
Very quick. There's the come on, man, from the Jets.
Rotating that back and at the ready. And it's slamming it. Whacked Kyle again, this time on the other side as he turned to miss. So at least he'll probably have matching bruises.
And it still went far out on the field. I would, if that hadn't hit Kyle, that would have easily been a run in my estimation for the Jet,
Well,
for the edge.
It was still a grounder. There's no telling if they would have been able to throw themselves in front of it before he got to the base. He has a very fast runner, so it's just really a no guess there.
So we have 2-1 to count when he heads back in there. We're in the top half of inning number 5 in this championship game. Things getting late here. 14-5, Edge with a commanding lead over the Jets.
Got Kenobi, but I don't have any cinnamon.
Resetting the bat up along the front of home plate.
And luckily that spillage did not happen over the microphones there. Whew.
This is Corey up at bat.
Is this Corian?
Corey, sorry. And foul over to the Jets.
Full count. Jets secretly rooting for maybe the ball to slide just above or below the bat here. Maybe get a freebie out for Corian White. Haven't gotten him out any other way today.
Kyle wiping excessive sweat off of his hands and then chalking up again. Seems very fierce in that. Kind of tossing that bag and catching it in his hand 5 or 6 times before tossing it back to the catcher. Corian with a deep exhale. And a slammer over into left. And rotating. That is going to be called safe unless it's a dead ball. I believe it was just so far out. It was past Will, dropped right by him, and it rolled clear out of the field. Have an ump going to check. Have to have a backup check on that as well.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it anymore, but it might have just, it may have not killed the ball. It might have just killed my personal hearing perception of the...
Is that hand across
Yeah, it was
neck?
dead, and it was dead, yep. It was dead. Jets breathing a sigh of relief.
Bringing that back in, giving them another chance to keep that alive. Corian drenching water all over and then wiping his face off with his shirt before heading back up to home plate. Definitely some breaths needed there.
Full count, so he doesn't have time to regroup. He's got to go and do it again.
Well, we do have to get a new ball, so at least there's a few precious seconds for that, Matt. And when you're tired, every second can feel like an eternity.
Absolutely it can, and he only has one pitch to make it count, so he's going to need all those seconds to take in that nice breeze that's starting to blow in here.
What am I supposed to do?
Here's the new ball, ready to go.
New ball. Going to be a few practice tosses here with Kyle with this ball. Get a feel for that. Corian joking with the umpire as he stands waiting for those tosses. And it looks like we are ready. Another deep exhale as he almost kisses the bat. And back up at the ready. Slamming out over into center right, almost in center, just past David's hand. And that is Axel with a putout, sliding right in behind David Smith, easily backing him up. Wonderful defensive play. That is exactly what they need to repeat.
So after not making the play on Nick Mulheron on a short, dinky little ground ball, they make the beautiful play by Axel Cox backing up David Smith in deep center field to retire Corian White for the first time in this game. Great play. Good hit again with 3 strikes for Corian White. So here's Corey White. He's 2 for 4. He scored his last 2 times up, though.
Jets have definitely got to hold it again.
2 outs. 1 out away from getting through it relatively unharmed. Only the 1 run scoring.
Rotation of the bat in the left hand. Slightly swinging pendulum style over the plate. Another swing of the bat. Gripping it. And at the ready. And just bouncing over the bat. Slamming it hard into far left field, just over
Just
David's
bounced.
head, and he's gonna be
That's a run
safe.
scored a deep shot to left.
Once again, Rosina, no time to give the fielders a chance.
David had his hands up, hoping they would at least slow it down over his head, and it was just over both of his hands,
we're back to
outstretched
Justin
up over
Hall.
his head.
And that's Corey White's 3rd of the day, and that increases the run total to 15-5, and that's the biggest lead that the Indy Edge have enjoyed in this game now to date, 10 runs.
Corey gets that hand pat from Nick as he comes back into the bench.
So 2 outs in the inning, and we will now have Justin Holland 1 for 4 with the home run.
That's been his only successful run so far. Let's see if he can either add some more to that or repeat. Defense looks like they are set in the field. Kyle kind of adjusting Justin to face the plate a little more. And that base check. That back up over the shoulder. And a high popper into center that is going to be far out there, just past Will, scrambling to go get the ball. And yep, it is another home run for Justin Holland.
Wow.
They're calling this another home run, I think.
So that is 2 in one
Justin
game
Holland.
for Justin Holland. 2 home runs in the championship game. Unbelievable, Matt.
Isn't it crazy to think about? He has 1 strikeout and 2 very weak ground ball outs and 2 home runs. So if you were here just listening to those 3 at-bats, you're like, wow, that is an overrated kind of hitter. But this guy is as good as it gets. When he gets a hold of one, there is no one in the business that can hit it further. 2-time long ball champion, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and he's showing why here. 2 home runs in a championship game, accounting for 4 runs. And Rosina, now it's a 17-5 game. Now you have that 12-run deficit that you feared as a Jets player.
Yeah, to have Jason Price heading out to confirm with the outfielder judges, that's just definitely Justin. If he can get a ball pitched to him, you know, and it's just on, when he's on, that is flying, and there's not much you can do about something like that. This has to be very discouraging for the Jets.
They are still checking it. I mean, either way, it's either a home run and it's 17-5, or it's not and it's 16-5. So not much of a better scenario
Double
for the
checking the
Jets.
placement of exactly where it landed, definitely conferring with 4 judges out here.
They never said home run. Never saw it.
So they're checking on the home run
They
to
have one
see.
more ump now coming over. They have to confirm with all of them when it's not a clear cut.
What did you see, Rosina? Do you think?
I cannot see
Okay.
the line. I knew it was close, and I just wasn't sure what was going to happen with that. I was waiting for the call. I thought I saw someone call it, but they definitely would have to confirm. Still have confirming out in the field as we have Mark Morris up at the plate talking with catcher and pitcher while we wait for the official call.
Past the line is 170. It has to hit on the fly.
We have some shrugs coming up, still waiting. Calling it a
And
home
it is.
run from Jason
Home
Price.
run.
It sounded like it was right between that 170 and the back line of 172. It was just a home run, but I mean, to hit it 170 feet in the air is is pretty darn hard to do. I've only seen Justin Holland do it. And I would love to know if that's the first time in a World Series game, if one player has hit 2 home runs in a game. And we now have
a
that.
little bit more rain coming in.
We have that 12-run lead now for the Indy Edge. Wow.
Really incredible. Same player, 2 home runs.
Can we,
Incredible.
can we talk about all the players from the Indy Thunder that the Edge have gotten to make their team better? But this player right from the Atlanta Chaos, your boys, Justin Holland, coming from them, providing quite the spark in this championship game.
Absolutely. It's definitely cause for great excitement. Incredible thing to witness. Have Kyle wiping off all the sweat on his hands and tossing that chalk bag.
Like Mark Morris, 0 for 1, trying to become the 7th different Edge player to score a run in this game. Right now, it's a 12-run deficit. If you're the Jets, you keep it that way. You know, you can get within those 12-run parameters, but
Getting that base check. Mark at the ready. And just barely scooping up on that as he comes up, tipping it back to the catcher.
rain kind of on and off here.
And it's going to be a grounder over under right. Let's see if Ricky gets this right to him, and he scooped that up easily. It's an out for Ricky Castaneda.
So, good play by him. He's done the defensive work for the Jets in this game. That's the end of the top of the 5th inning. But another 4-run inning for the Indy Edge. 17-5 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 5. And at this point, the Jets took the bat in the bottom of the 1st down by 6 runs. They took the bat in the bottom of the 2nd down by 6 runs. Bottom of the 3rd, same thing. Bottom of the 4th, they were down by 9 runs. At this point, they're down by 12. I think we can start to see where the wind is blowing in this game. The Jets, we've said 4 times, they need to answer. They need to have a big inning. At this point in this inning, they really just need to score 1 run to avoid that 12-run scenario and then just go from there. But they need to take it 1 at bat at a time. They can't think of it as, each individual batter can't think of it as, I need to score 10 runs here in this at bat. You can't have that. 17 to 5.
Swing by swing, definitely. They really need to pay attention to each one as we bring Renee up to bat. They definitely, have to be calming it down, taking a deep breath, not overthinking things, and just doing those swings that they normally would do instead of maybe an extra overreach and extra hard, because that will affect, the pattern between that pitcher and the batter. And the pitcher is on the offensive team pitching to his players to give them a successful hit.
And you have, unfortunately, you need more production as well from the Jets. You've had 4 of your 5 runs by 2 players. Ricky Castaneda has 2 runs scored, and Axel Cox has 2 runs scored. That's been virtually it. They've got nothing from David Smith, and that's been a big story for them. They've got nothing from Renee here, who's taking the dish now. So here we go.
And he's getting a little taste of it as it pops back over to the catcher.
Up to bat, Renee Almanza.
And he's going to give it a low little grounder, see if it stays fair. It's going to be foul right before the third base. Have to come back and reproduce that. Not the best placement, as even over there, all the way up against the line, Eric is going to come over there and sweep that up very easily.
So 2 strikes now. 6 more outs for the Edge Championship.
Renee coming back up, led by the catcher. Jeremy out there tossing the ball hand to hand, kind of holding it between them. Digging in with that back right foot. Renee holding the bat at ease as they come up to adjust home plate. Just waiting patiently, catching his breath. Those extra seconds help. Redoing a few little just toe inch moves there and ready for the pitch. And a slamming one, but it's going to be on the ground right dead center, just missing Eric. Nick's going past his feet, and he's going to be out. They have it just in time. That is Corey White for the putout.
Great communication defensively as always. Eric and Nick Mulhern, I'm sorry. Very rare that you see both of them miss it. Is that Corey on White with the Corey?
Corey White.
Rosina with the good call there. Corey White with another put out in deep center for him. Renee, unfortunately, not the fastest guy on the Jets, but good play again made on him by Corey White. And this is where 1 out.
To the top of the lineup,
got David Smith. Got to get some production from these guys here. 0 for 3 from David Smith. He's had
he's 1 out in the inning.
He's had a tough time getting the ball in the air in this game.
17-5.
Getting a field check. They are set. David with his matching green hat and shoes. And the ball a little high up over the bat by about 2 inches.
And again, kudos to Jeremy Lopez pitching in his first ever championship game.
And a high pop up. Let's see if that stays fair. It is going to be fair. And rolling back, foul ball. That is too bad, because that one would have actually, if it had stayed fair, gotten David there. He was at the base right as Eric Rodriguez was trying to grab it. But that is a foul ball.
Had good hang time to it, which would have gotten them that run. And remember, they only have 2 outs to score a run. If they don't, then they'll be hitting in their 6th inning without the Edge needing to bat due to the 12-run rule.
David comes back up to home plate. Defense waiting patiently out in the field. Let's see Corey on White drying his hands off and his face off to keep the sweat down. Jeremy talking to head umpire Jason Price.
Let's give it to him, baby.
David wiping his hands off on his shorts. He's finding the front corner plate. Kind of kneeling down to feel all the edge. As Jeremy gives him instruction. Moving his feet back just a hair.
Doing another base check.
Strong exhale. And another. Bat up at the ready. And a high popper in right just past Corian. They scramble to get the ball. And they're going to pull that safe. That was super close. I wouldn't have been able to call that, but it's going to finally get David.
So
Run.
that's exactly what the Jets needed. So they will not have the 12-run rule come into effect for them in this championship game. You will have the edge hit in their 6th inning, and that's good. You don't want to see a championship game end that way. 17-6. Good to see a hitter like David Smith get off the schneid. He's had a tough day. So good hit, good solid pop. Classic David Smith run there. 17-6 edge.
You have Jeremy has come up to rub his hands in the dirt in front of the catcher, both hands, and then rub the ball, trying to get some of that moisture off. And
Zach.
we have Zach up at the plate.
Also 1 for 3, trying to get his day going offensively in a bigger way.
He's asking for a couple pitches.
Taking a couple practice pitches here.
Kind of rotating that ball in his hand with the dirt.
1 out still, bottom 5.
And Zach ready. And hitting on the edge, that's probably going to be foul over on the first base side. And some good hang time.
Yep.
Some not staying fair.
Great hang time, but the first strike. Kalari Jackson rooting him on.
Definitely hear her distinctive voice. Almost back up to home plate. Finding the center in the front corner.
1 strike. Play.
Rotating that bat pendulum across the plate and at the ready. And a high pop-up over into right, just behind Corian. And that is Nick backing him up, has the out.
By Nick Mulhern.
Nick Mulhern, he's usually a very good defensive player. I'm sure he's been quiet defensively in this game. And again, the Edge do such a good job of always having people to back up others. Gets past Corey on White, I believe he said, in deep center. Nick Mulhern right there for the pickup just before Arambula makes the base. Out number 2. Max Cox, one of the guys doing well for the Jets in this game. 2 out of 3. Trying to continue his good day with 2 outs.
Jeremy coming back up to the plate. He's going to get some more dirt up here in the catcher's area to rub over the ball. Back out to the pitcher area. As Axel comes back up to home plate. Standing on it, stepping back.
Sounds like that third base is a little quiet, but we'll see.
And catching some action on it. He's going to go straight up, but it's going to land by Eric, and you know he's going to run over there and grab that. And Eric getting that. A couple little bounces, but they were low, and it was close to his body. Very easy for him to grab and put that out.
Still a very, very, very close play. Axel Cox almost was able to out-hustle that to the base. Eric needed to make a quick play, and he did. 6 putouts for him. He's been the defensive star of the game for the Edge. And once again for the Jets, only 1 run. Can't fault Jeremy Lopez for this one. Had some good contact, a couple of good putouts by Mulhern and Rodriguez to quell the rally. But
with a 17-6 game
and
the Edge up at bat, this is an extreme danger zone.
Yeah, I think the Jets at this point understand what their fate's going to be. I think they understand that realistically, you know, it's not going to happen for them unless something absolutely crazy happens. But honestly, you even look at the scoreline. They scored a run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. I mean, their biggest inning has been 2 runs. The writing's on the wall. Even without a strikeout in this inning, you still had a few good putouts. So it really has been a tough day at the office for the Jets, which they're definitely not used to. But you got to give the Indy Edge full credit. They've gotten balanced scoring. 6 different guys in their lineup have scored. The White brothers have combined for 7 runs, which is more than the entire Jets team. So honestly, it's just been a great effort all around by the Indy Edge, and a great effort all season. I mean, this has been the best team since day one. This has been, they were reviewing it. It is officially called an out. I didn't know they were reviewing it. It did sound like a really close play for Axel Cox.
It was a very close play, but it has been reviewed. It is out. You have the Jets in a huddle over on their bench. And I have gotten confirmation from Neil Dogg from the Beat Ball Blues that is absolutely the first time one player has had 2 home runs in a single championship game.
Well, thank you, Neil. And definitely Rosina making sure to get that acknowledgement in there. Thank you so much for that information.
Definitely appreciate the feedback on some of those things that we're unfamiliar with, confirming information.
And a little rundown for you, so obviously the Austin Blackhawks took 3rd place yesterday after the Jets beat them 12-7. Great tournament for them, started the tournament ranked 10th place. Some people even thought lower than that. But Neil, I'll acknowledge you again. You were the one person that kind of said before the World Series, hey, look out for the Blackhawks. I think they should be ranked a lot higher than they are. Well, definitely correct on that one. Philadelphia Flyer, have to give a shout out to my boys, finishing 4th place. Great World Series for them. 15th place last year. Definitely moving up. The Boston Renegades defeating the 5-time champs last night to take 5th place. And the Thunder, obviously, therefore taking 6th place. Still a very strong tournament for Jared Woodard and company.
Up to bat for the Indy Edge, Eric Rodriguez.
And here's Rodriguez to start. I believe Bayou City and Chicago were the 7th and 8th place game. Not sure the results of that. And 9th and 10th, you had Tyler and Chaos.
It's on. Not having any sound from our 3rd base. Double checking wires.
So Eric Rodriguez 2 for 5. We've been talking about it throughout the course of the game. Needs to get that ball in the air. His 2 runs scored this game exactly have been that.
Definitely a weak base over there.
And we're in the last inning of the championship game, inning number 6.
Thumbs up from Eric at the ready. And just catching a touch on that.
One strike to count.
And a strike as the ball is underneath the bat by about 1.5 inches. Taking a pass on that as he listens to it across the plate.
Trying to encourage the team. It's not over yet.
Getting the pitcher's mitt out and up. And a hard clobber. It's going to be foul on the 3rd base side. Caught by the foot of the 3rd base ump. Eric coming back to home plate. And the ball making its way back to Kyle Kennedy. Hard slamming this. Oh, he struggled as he slipped at the base. He's going to have to run fast, but bouncing over Will's foot. He is going to be safe. He had a little bit of a stumble there. Matt kind of slipped, almost went down, and then recovered, running out even faster than ever, popping up over Will's feet, just not able to get control of that ball.
Yeah,
he laid his body down, but went right, bounced up, continued on past.
Yep, we saw the secret to him hitting it hard and sharp, and that's what Eric Rodriguez did there. And he sure made up for that initial slip out of the box with some amazing hustle, like you said, to the base. Really still got there quick. Will Lopez, we've seen him make some good plays deep, unable to make that one. Add another one for the Edge. That's 3 for 6 for him. That's 18-6 on the scoreboard.
This is Nick Mulheron up to bat. His sweat towel there hanging at his side is very dirty at this point in the game, Matt.
He's had a good day offensively as well.
And just on the outside low. Wiping his hands off on that rag again. And a hard clobber, super foul over on the right. Hopefully I'm missing everybody just by the bystanders. as Jaden Price goes to retrieve that ball. Nick wiping his hands off on his rag again, and you know, might not want to wash that when they win this tournament. Might be his lucky sweat rag.
This will be his, I believe, first championship ring for Nick Mulherron. Great beat baseball player.
Chalk bag back out to Kyle as he tosses it a couple times. I'm getting a call for a new ball.
Two for 5 in his own right, Nick Mulherron.
And new ball in play. Chalk bag goes back to the catcher's pocket. A couple tosses there as Nick stands patiently at the ready. Bat tip on the ground. Nick gonna take that pass on that first one as he stand at ease. Now bringing that bat into play, twisting it up around the world with the left hands before bringing it up behind the shoulder.
Still no one out.
And a hard clobber out into just off of center to the left, bouncing over Will's legs again. Just these balls are just powerful, just out there. There's nothing really that could have been done shy of having jumped the other way and having your chest stop it.
Another run scored for Nick Mulherron. That's the 19th run put up by the Jets. Edge, that's the 3rd run scored by him. It's 19-6 now in favor of the Indy Edge. And now you see Kyle Kennedy really starting to find those bats. Will Lopez having to make those plays now back there. He's smelling it now. Now the Jets, I think, are starting to understand the Edge can taste it here.
Ball finally back up to Kyle. Took a while to come back up there from so far out in the field net.
But the White brothers, who have been very, very tough to get out all game, 7 for 10 combined, starting with Corian.
They both have matching pink cleats. Bat was up over the shoulders for Corian, bringing that back up and ready. Asking for another base check. And ready for the pitch. Oh, just barely catching a snick on the edge of that bat.
So 1 strike, 1 out, nobody out.
And a little bit low and missing. Taking a pass.
2 strikes and a pass.
And it's going to be a tapper just past the pitcher into center over to Zach, grabbing it, and that is out.
So Zach Arambula, room service for him, a little tapper, not the hardest contact by Corian White today. Still will likely finish his day 4 for 6. Great championship game of hitting for Corian White.
You have Corey White dancing his way up to home plate, kind of from feet to feet with a little shoulder swag there.
Next to bat for the Indy Edge, Corey White.
As Corian comes back around home plate.
Corey trying to join Corian and Justin Holland as the guys responsible for 4 runs for the Indy Edge.
First is on.
Have an issue with first over here. Double checking wires. And active again. And both bases good. Kyle wiping his face on his shoulders. And a little late on that pitch and just missing.
Stay awake out there, baby. Let's go.
And again, the ball just underneath the bat. Taking a pass here. And the oh man call from the Jets bench.
Set. Pitch.
And again, just off of the bat.
By the way, I want to give Nick Mulheron full credit. I said 3 for 6, and he was 2 for 5 in his last. He's actually got 4 runs scored as well for the Edge in this game. So I have it in my head now. I apologize to Nick Mulheron.
Bat at the ready.
Set. Pitch.
And a slamming grounder along the left baseline. David scrambling for that, and he is safe. He's not quite getting it in time.
Just the hustle to the base was there, so that's the 20th put up on the board now for the Edge. It's 20-6.
Yep, it is a 26 game, bringing Justin Holland back up for the Edge. Let's see what happens with this. I am just amazed already at the 2-homer game that he's got.
4 different players, Rosina, with 4 runs scored
Up to bat,
for the
Justin Holland.
Edge. Justin Holland has 4 runs scored on 2 swings of the bat.
I believe they're checking
2 home
the last
runs.
play.
And we are reviewing this last one.
Seeing if that is a safe or an out.
We've seen the call on the field stand for the most part in this game.
Having Jason Price check with third base ump.
He's saying David Smith might have had that ball, but not full control of it by the time the pickup was made, by the time the runner hit the base. So Corey White, after starting 0 for 2,
Checking with Robert and Kemp, and now over to some more umps.
4 straight runs for him if this one counts. If it doesn't, it'll be the second out of the 6th inning.
Making the rounds to the rest of the umps all the way around. Get a full.
And again, we are moments away from the Edge starting their celebration as champions, you would think.
Yeah.
This will either be the 20th run, or it'll remain a 19-6 game with 1 out. And
More ump to check with over at first base. Everyone patiently waiting. Kyle has the ball on the ground.
he is out.
It's reversed
that
to
will
an
go.
out.
So the first play reversal.
David Smith.
So Corey White will have to settle for 3 for 6, but a really good day hitting for him as well.
What number?
But that will be the second out of the inning.
Jason!
Number
Back
7.
here, Scorpion.
Number 7. David
So
Smith.
they didn't know if he had control over it, but they're going to give him that put out. So as you said, Rosina, the man who has become the first player in NBBA history in the championship game to
Back
hit
up
2
the bat
home
is,
runs,
Justin Holland.
Justin Holland.
Definitely go down in the record books for that alone. See if he has another good matchup with Kyle Kennedy here.
See if he can get a hat trick here. Wouldn't that be something?
Set. Pitch.
And a slammer over foul on the left base.
He didn't want that one. It didn't have home run power.
As he limps to go grab the ball.
Are you drinking, young man?
Yes, I am.
When and where? We want to see it. We have to call you.
Ball bouncing back up to Kyle as they get called for a new ball. The ball was not beeping at all that I could hear when it
Nope.
came back. But the new ball is definitely beeping and ready as Kyle heads back out to pitch.
Yeah, that'd be a problem if he had a new ball that didn't beep.
Well, it has happened. Getting a couple tosses in there with Kyle. And Justin kind of nodding his head. Got Will with his hands stretched up above his head and back down at the ready on his knees. Outside high.
2 strikes. Or nope. I guess that's the first one.
Wiping that ball off. And again, high over the bat.
Yeah, it is 3 strikes. I thought that first one was foul, not a dead ball. So it is 3 strikes.
3 strikes. Play.
Kyle holding the ball up. Lowering the catcher's mitt and ready. And a slam, but it's going to go foul over to the Jets bench.
Justin Holland, one of the only players that doesn't seem interested at all in taking that free pass for the Edge team.
Adjusting that back foot up toward the plate. He's got the bat at ease on his shoulder. And again, Matt, every time you have said that, they then take the...
He did. That's the second time Justin Holland has.
And that's going to be a strike out.
So even though Justin Holland finishes 2 for 6, he still had 4 runs scored of his own. So a great run, a great inning, and a great game so far by the Indy Edge. They get 2 more runs in that inning by Nick Mulheron and Corian White, or no, I apologize, Eric Rodriguez and Nick Mulheron, the first 2 batters to bat in the inning, scored. And from the Edge, well, the key to this game, as I've been saying, a balanced attack. You look around, Eric Rodriguez, 3 runs scored. Nick Mulheron, 4 runs scored. 3 runs scored for Corey White, 4 runs scored for Corian White. Justin Holland is responsible for 4 runs. Aaron C. coming off as a designated hitter role, scored a run early. So that's what you've gotten out of the Edge today. 6 different guys scoring, 5 different guys with 3 runs scored, and that's what you need. For the Jets, I mean, Ricky Castaneda's 2 for 3, and Axel Cox has 2 runs scored. That's it. That's virtually it. Otherwise, you have David Smith with 1 and Zach Orambulo with 1. That's it. And you had no balanced attack. You've had, unfortunately, the Edge have just shown that they might be a little bit of a deeper team than you in this game, and that's what's going to lead them to this championship, barring a miracle for the Jets and a disaster for the Edge here in this bottom of the 6th inning.
We do have Will Lopez coming up to bat for the Jets. As you can hear, loud, enthusiastic cheers from the Edge and defense.
Up to bat for the
We're down to the last 3 outs now. But another key to this game, Rosina, the Edge got 2 runs in that inning. Sounds like a small number. That's the highest number the Jets have gotten in any inning is 2 runs, and that's only happened once in the 2nd inning.
It's just been a slow creeping loss. They just creep forward, and the Edge takes gigantic steps.
Absolutely, 19-6. Top
Ready
half of
for
the
the pitch.
bottom of the 6th.
And a pop-up that's going to be foul over to the Edge bench.
Will
Rolled over
Lopez,
to the batter box.
I think he's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He's definitely 0 for 3. Just hasn't gotten that strong contact we saw yesterday in the Blackhawks game, or I saw yesterday in the Fire game. Just unable to put the bat on the ball.
And it's going to be a strike as it slides underneath the bat. It was nicely centered, just not quite up on the right height.
And kudos to pitcher Kyle Kennedy.
Jeremy asking for the catcher to lower the mitt. And it's going to be a pop-up.
3 strikes. Kudos to Kyle Kennedy, though. Before that strikeout of Justin Holland in the inning, he had several at-bats in a row with no strikeout. Plenty of runs.
Will ready. And knocking, it's going to run foul on the 3rd base side. The pitcher definitely correcting the catcher on that glove. He uses that glove placement as a targeting of where each batter is going to be swinging. So he gets that minute adjustments with the ups and the downs, the outs, in, getting it exactly where he wants before he sends that pitch across the plate.
Still 3 strikes, can still pass 1. Nobody out. Last half of inning number 6 in this NBBA championship game.
Deep exhale from Will.
Dark Horse, the nickname.
Telling the ump he is ready.
Nope.
And that's going to be a strike as it slides underneath the bat.
Tough day at the plate for Will Lopez.
Gently handing that bat back to the catcher with a deep sigh.
Yeah, not his
Heading
day.
to the bench.
Not his day, but, you know, he'll definitely have his day. Can't beat himself up too much over this. You know, it's been a long week for some. And Ricardo Castaneda now has, honestly, in my mind, played the best all-around for the Jets today. He has 2 runs scored. He has a few defensive putouts. If I were to have a player of the game for the Jets, it's Ricardo here.
At that base check, pulling the bat back up to his waist. And slamming it high up into right's going to drop right in front of Corian. And Eric running over to grab it as they both have their hands on it, but that is declared safe. Eric coming running, like you said, all the way from far left to come assist Corian, but that is going to be safe.
So Ricky Castaneda is 3 for 4 at the plate, and that only out was a strikeout. Every time he put the ball in play, he hustled, he got to the base. Very good championship game for Ricky, and he solidifies it with that run scored there.
Bringing Rene up to bat.
Up to bat for the San Antonio Jets.
Jeremy
Rene
wipes
Almanza.
the dirt all over his hands again and then rubbing them against the ball, rotating that ball in his hands.
But Rene Almanza, another example of 0 for 3. Guy struggling at the plate in this game.
Gripping the bat all along the length and then bringing it up over the shoulder. And just a little early.
Strike 1, 1 out, bottom 6.
And just catching a tick on that, dropping down for foul. Encouragement, Rene, you got this from the Jet bench.
Still 2 strikes.
2 strikes. Play.
And slamming it's going to be foul again on the left baseline. About halfway to the base, slowing it up and coming back around.
3 strikes.
It only takes one, baby. Let's go, J-Dog. Come in that ball, baby.
Placing the bat in the center of home plate. Finding the edge. Scooting his feet back just a hair before scraping them a little in the dirt.
3 strikes.
Pulling that bat back up over the shoulder. And swinging a little early. That is going to be
That's a
another out
strikeout.
for the Jets.
Yeah, a couple of these Jets guys having a lot of trouble finding the bat, either via the strikeout. I don't think that's Almanza's first strikeout.
Smith.
0 for 4 for him today. At 4-6 hitters, no production from them in this game. David Smith scored a run his last time, a patented, hit by him. Needs another one as the Jets are officially down to their last chance here, 19-7.
David having that last put out that was contested there for the Jets in the field that kept them from hitting 20, so at least the Jets can say they definitely held them into the teens. Exhale from David.
Thank you. Play.
Rotating and bringing that up to the shoulder. High pop-up far out into center, probably in the 3rd row. As Corey scrambles for the ball, bounce over the feet of Mark Morris, and he is safe.
Nice to see from David Smith, still playing very hard defensively. We saw him make that put out last inning on that ball hit by Corey White, and this time he gets a nice pop offensively. The 2nd straight time he was able to do that. Patented David Smith run, 19-8. Jets still fighting.
Right over Corey's feet. And you had Mark Morris running over to assist, but not getting their hands on it. Bringing Zach up to bat.
Tough day at the dish for him. He's put it in play generally, but only 1 for 4. Trying to keep the game going. Maybe get to Axel, who scored a couple runs. So just got to take this one at bat at a time, obviously.
Rotating that bat around and around. Another turn and up on the shoulder. Bringing that glove down. And pitch just a little low. And bouncing, almost hitting Jeremy as it tumbles into the center, right to Nick. Oh, bounced over his shoulder. Can he recover? Does have it. He recovered. That was an out, put out by Nick Mulherron. to finish that game.
And that is it, as the San Antonio Jets come up with 2 runs, their second 2-run inning of the game, but Nick Mulherron with the final putout, and the Indy Edge are your 2022 NBBA champions. Their first time ever as champions, I believe, Indy Edge.
And Corion and Corey White both shaking bottles and spraying fluid all over all the players. Justin Allen being sprayed down as a double homer.
Corey and Corion, not their first championship.
Traditional large water cooler jugs to pour over everyone.
As the Indy Edge, just methodical, as you said throughout the broadcast, Rosina, just took over this game more and more, pulled away, stretched out the run lead as the innings progressed. They clearly showed that they're the best team in beat baseball in 2022.
Have them lining up. The Jets are already on the line, ready to congratulate that. And now the Indy Edge coming up to join the lineup. A lot of congratulations going on. No hurt feelings here. You know, the Jets, of course, would like to have seen a win, but they knew the quality of the Edge team. They knew what they were up against. You know, it's not really a hurt feeling. It's just a matter of, you know, who had that game. And it was obvious early on that the Edge was out there producing both offensively and defensively.
The Edge just, you know, all across the board. They scored 6 runs in that first inning. They scored 4 runs in the 4th and the 5th inning to really solidify their game. They never allowed the Jets to get any kind of a run offensively. I don't think there was ever a situation in the game for the Jets where back-to-back men scored remarkably. I think every single time there was a run for the Jets, the Edge recorded that next out. They never, ever allowed the Jets to go into a rhythm. Obviously not the strongest game by pitcher Jeremy Lopez pitching in his first championship game. Had a little bit of those championship jitters, but the Edge from start to finish, that 6-run first inning carried them to victory as they beat the Jets 19-8 to win the 2022 NBBA World Series.
Here in Beaumont, Texas, that does finish up our final game, so we will not have a 2-game repeat. Most of the Jets have left the field now after their congratulations, going off into a final huddle over by first base, and you still have the Edge totally just overwhelmed with their enthusiasm. They're out on the field, have everybody out there, all their volunteers. Pictures are being taken, coolers are being dumped, hugging and congratulations going on, team choruses and cheers right there. This has got to feel good for the Edge. We've had the Thunder has been the champions for so long, and the Edge just coming in to finally get a ring and a championship. This has just got to be just so heartfelt for them. Just so happy.
What you always enjoy too from the Edge, you just heard them say 1, 2, 3 Jet Life. After a beat baseball game, you see those teams, the winning team, they'll say the other team's slogan back at them, you know, like as a way of saying, hey, good game, hard fought, we respect your team, we love your team. We're going to say your team's slogan to show our respect for your team, and that's what the Edge just showed the San Antonio Jets right there. Great stuff from them.
Absolutely wonderful. And even though it was kind of it seemed to be a one-sided game there, it was still a very good game. There was a lot of wonderful plays out there by the Jets defensively. There was a lot of misses that they had, things that didn't quite make it, but there was still, you could see the quality of the players there. I mean, Ricky out short there and right. Yes, sir. Just some amazing plays out there.
David Smith, you see the patented at-bats from him those last couple of times. You see Zach Arambula, Axel Cox doing their thing, both defensively and offensively. And, you know, of course, there's going to be a struggle. You're trying to beat the best team in the country in beat baseball. But the Jets are a phenomenal team, and they are a very deserving second-place team in this World Series. And they will continue to be there next year. We get to see Jeremy Lopez for years to come as a new pitcher for the San Antonio Jets.
And I believe so here in Beaumont, Texas, Matt. Yeah, both wonderful teams, but that does absolutely wrap up. The Edge are your 2022 World Series champions.
And obviously you feel happy for guys like the White brothers and Eric Rodriguez, who have won this championship many times with the Indy Thunder, but you look at guys like Mark Morris, who were on the Edge last year, Nick Mulherron, who was on the Edge, and so very happy for those guys to get that ring this year.